What's going on? Good morning,
Hola.
good afternoon, and good evening, whatever time of day you're choosing to watch this video. Thank you very much for being here. I'm Jacob Avillion, and I am joined, as always, of course, by the best co host in the game, this handsome young man over here, Brayden McClellan. Brayden, the fuck's going on?
I'm doing pretty good. I just got back a little while ago from a quick trip to Bryan, Texas, which is directly next to College Station, to go visit my little sister out there who's currently living with our grandma.
Hell yeah.
Visited them, saw them. Um, that was the big thing, and I was hoping for this list to kind of grow because she spit these two out quickly, but my grandma just had like two sayings that me and my sister died at that I wanted to share here. When referring to a bisexual person,
Mm-hmm.
she used the phrase "licking both sides of their plate."
Is this girl boss affirmations today?
This is
Is
not girl boss
grandma's sayings? Is
affirmations.
this our girl boss affirmations today?
Not quite. And then when just talking about someone they didn't like, she said my mom would say, "I wouldn't cross the street to piss in their guts if their ass was on fire."
That's an interesting way of putting it.
That was very. Um, and then let's see. Trying to think of anything else of note. Oh, the other day at work, a couple days ago, I cut my finger pretty good.
That's not good.
I was just changing an air filter. It got stuck, and I was like, come on," and it went, and then my hand went with it, and I kind of like
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
this was a
see.
couple days
I
ago,
see the vision.
but it was bleeding pretty good because I did it, and I just saw like a scrape on the top of my hand, and I thought that was it, and then like I grabbed the other filter and I looked down, and like my whole finger is just like covered in blood, just like dripping all over the floor, and I was like, oh, it's worse than I thought it was because it was like it pretty much like took like the tiny little chunk and like
Yeah.
it didn't cut it off, but it cut it to like where it was just kind of like a little dangly. Yeah, so I had to wrap that up and clean that, put a band-aid on it. Not fun.
Not fun. I'm with you.
Not fun.
Not ideal. Certainly.
But yeah, that's pretty much most of it. The drive from San Antonio to there sucked for the first half, but then was like beautiful for the second half. A little more scenic route
Yeah.
after that, which was really nice. The drive back was mostly scenic route. I don't know why it's so different there and back. I just use Google Maps and let it take the wheel, but really nice scenic drive.
Good
But
shit.
yeah, that's pretty much all I've been on. Before I pass it over to you, let's go ahead and get the girl boss affirmation
The
out the
official
way
girl boss affirmation, not the grandma's
from Jane
affirmation.
Jacobs.
Good, fortunate last name there. Hmm.
Well, she's a double J name. I don't know if that cancels things out or not.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. She's gonna get sent too many of them reels.
She gets sent tons of those reels.
Hmm. I
The
know a
people that
guy.
send those are
I
annoying.
say I know a guy. I know a guy who sends those to me every time he
Anytime I
sees
see
them.
it, I'm like, all
Uh
right,
huh.
here you go.
Yep.
All right. There is no virtue in conforming meekly to the dominant opinion of the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Sure.
It's a great commentary on reactionary culture, especially in the internet age. It's only more true now. You know,
The internet's pretty well thought out and lets
yeah.
things
There's no
develop.
no such thing as immediate reactions on the internet. Nobody does that. Nobody has a take right away. Everybody formulates their opinions in a thoughtful and conductive manner. I mean, I'm guilty of it. We all are.
Yeah, of course, 100%.
Yeah. No, I'm not absolving myself here. Just saying it's a problem at large with like, oh my god, in football it's so fucking bad, man. The takes people will spew out on anytime there's ever a quote from a player, somebody always has some bullshit to say in the comment section. Whatever. Um, but
Yeah. So how you been?
um, I just had 9 days off of work because of
Oh,
the
why?
hurricane. So yeah, I feel now. What had happened to me? So nothing, no damage to my apartment. There was, however, so I was I never go through a hurricane without going outside at all. At the very least, go on the patio. But I was actually outside for if it took a 5 minute walk just to just to say I was outside with it. But between that walk, I was on the patio watching the rain and just watching my tree move. Went for a walk, came back in, changed my shirt, watched the tree again on the patio until the wind got too bad. And then uh, I spent over an hour on that patio, just listening to music, watching my tree, just kind of in the wind. And then went inside. Not maybe 45 minutes later, I'm here at right here where I am right now at my desk, and I hear boom, and I'm like it shook my apartment a little bit, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I look out the window, and I can't see anything out the window. And the reason I can't see anything out the window is because my tree got uprooted, and now there is this giant fucking clump of dirt and roots and shit covering my window, covering my patio. Like I can't see nothing on my patio right now. It's completely like I went to my patio to get a better look at it. It was just covered with in dirt and roots, and then I went outside to get a better picture of the tree. Uh, but yeah, the tree that I was just hanging out with for a little over an hour got uprooted shortly after I went back inside. And what was happening was there was this constant stream of water coming from the top of my apartment, landing onto the dirt where the tree was. So after a while, the tree was just sitting in mud. So eventually, strong enough wind comes and hits it. It's not rooted in anything solid anymore. It's a little slushy down there. So winds were pretty fucking strong. It was a Cat 3 going right over us. But when it made landfall, it was a Cat 3. It was a strong Cat 3, too. It would have just been a 4 a couple hours prior. So pretty good hurricane. The highest sustained winds were like 92, I think, miles an hour. It was pretty good when it made landfall. So yeah, my tree got its shit kicked in. Thankfully, everybody was smart enough to move their car prior to the hurricane, so nobody's car was under any trees. But so there was no damage. There were some other trees that fell in the neighborhood, but they all fell away from the apartments. So, uh, nobody got hurt, and nobody's vehicles got hurt. So there was one shingle I saw on the ground a couple days ago. So we lost one shingle from somebody in this building, either on my side or on the other side. But other than that, like not a whole lot of damage during the hurricane. Um, my cat he's scared of everything except storms for some reason. He does not give a shit. I didn't lose power for more than 10 seconds was the longest. It flickered a lot on Tuesday night, but I didn't lose power for long at all. And then what else? I lost internet for like a day and a half. It came back Saturday night, and then so I was able to watch football Sunday morning. Unfortunately, was able to watch football. Cause I really wish I had. Do you want to go ahead and segue into potatoes here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention last week's episode. I think was episode 50.
Look at us.
Nice round episode
Look
50.
at us.
But yeah, now we
us.
can get to some ball.
We can get to some ball, and
Do you want to kick it off with a game close to your heart?
a game close to my heart. So, fun fact: the Titans have scored 17 points in every single game in which Will Levis has played 4 quarters this year.
Exactly.
Yeah, 17 points in every single one of those games. That's not a stat that I saw; it's just a stat that I remember.
Consistent.
Yeah, consistently.
So you just need a better defense.
Yeah, that the defense that's near the top in the league in every category except turnovers. And sacks probably, I guess. Yeah, that defense. Yeah, I don't know what else they're supposed to
Right,
do.
because every team just gets to run the ball on you guys because they're up.
Surely. Yeah, the Titans always known for that terrible run defense. Yeah, certainly.
No, I was just saying the other team's up against you, so they're just running out
We have
clock.
leads in all of these games. We have, except I think the Packers game is the only game we haven't let in. Every other game this season, we've had a lead at some point. So, we had a decent lead over the Colts, too. We were up 17-10, like, beginning of the fourth or something. And it's just like every other game this season, like, we can't sustain it. We just can't keep the foot on the gas. Like, beating Tyler Huntley doesn't prove shit. You know what I mean? Like, for the team to commit this many penalties after a bye week. Now, mind you, some of them were bullshit. Like, this was the worst, one of the most poorly officiated Titans games I've seen in a while, where it was like, okay, this is just one-sided, this is ridiculous. Now, but there were plenty of actual penalties on Tennessee, and they were not letting us get away with any of them. They were calling them. So to be that undisciplined after a bye week is ridiculous. To For the offense to look exactly the same after a bye week is ridiculous. Um, and another issue with this game, Levis's AC joint was not healthy, and you could tell because the velocity was dying on all of his throws. And the problem with Levis, there's many problems with Levis. One of the problems with Levis, Brian Callahan's offense is very timing oriented. Will Levis is not the best processor in the world. He is not the kind of quarterback who's making throws on time routinely. What he can do, he's got a howitzer. He can compensate for being a little late on a throw by just chucking an absolute piss missile. When he can't do that, and he's late on all of his throws, that's how you end up with Calvin Ridley being 0 for 8 on his targets. If you watch the film
And
back,
thankfully, Calvin has been very chill about everything. He's not made any public statements about anything.
I have no issues whatsoever with Calvin Ridley with what Calvin Ridley said after the game. I think he's absolutely correct, and he took accountability in that statement too. Like almost every there were a couple that actually posted the whole quote, but for the most part, it was just him saying, "Well, when did I get those targets? Yeah, in the fourth quarter. I needed them at the beginning of the fucking game too." What almost nobody included was that immediately after that he said, "I suck today." He owned up to it, and he didn't have his best game either. But on a lot of these throws, he's open. Levis is late getting there. The ball dies because he doesn't have the velocity because his shoulder's still hurt. And then, sure enough, the DB closes out, and Ridley's not a contested catch guy. Ideally, you'd like him to make a play. He's getting paid a lot. You want him to do that, but he's not going to suddenly develop that in his 29-year-old season. That's just not how it goes. Right. He's never been part of his game. It's not going to be part of his game. You shouldn't expect it to be part of his game. He is a separator. He is an open field. Like, throw it to him. He's got to find space. And he's got to beat his man one-on-one unless it's press. He's not very good against press. But he was getting open. Levis was late on the throw. And the ball died. And not to mention, he's probably throwing it to spots where he's used to, being able to throw it and expect it to be there. When in reality, Ridley now has to stop because the ball's getting there slower. Because again, Levis is not throwing with peak velocity in this game, so I've got two positive takeaways from this game. I've got two nice things to say. First nice thing: the Titans, for the first time in 3 years, did not allow a sack in a game. That's cool no matter how you slice it. I'll take that where I can get it with the offensive line play I've seen the last 3 seasons. I'll take it. So I can live with that. Last week, the previous game, we only allowed 1 sack. So we've only allowed 1 sack in the last 2 games. Not against the best pass rushes in the world, but still, you'll take that where you can get it. With how bad the line's been, 1 sack in the last 2 games, that's a moral victory. And this rookie class is awesome. Now, we're still, unfortunately, reaping the benefits of having multiple bad free agent signings and multiple bad draft classes under the previous regime. So, it's team's not good. It is what it is. Team is not good. But the rookies are good, and hopefully you'd think within a couple of years we need more draft capital, for one. I do think we need to sell at the deadline. DeAndre Hopkins, welcome to Kansas City. You're going to love it.
Whoa. Don't do that. Anywhere else, bro, don't do that.
It's going to happen. Buffalo's off the table, which we'll get to later. In fact, we can talk about it right now. I don't have much else to say. This rookie class is awesome.
We'll talk about that game.
Devondre Sweat fucks. J.C. Latham fucks. Jarvis Brownlee Jr. is a dog. I knew this already. I mean, if you watch this tape at Louisville, this guy's fucking insane. But he's basically baby Snead. Just occasionally too physical, but for the most part, just clamps all the time. He's awesome. Tony Pollard is also awesome. Love Tony Pollard. The Titans had a 3rd and 19, 26 yards away from the goal line, and Brian Callahan just called a surrender draw, like a give-up play, just like it gets some yardage, and Pollard scored on a 26-yard run on a 3rd and 19 on a surrender draw because Gus Bradley's defense is just that bad. Now, credit to the Colts, they did buck up after that. They did play a lot better, but yeah, I don't know. Gus Bradley's probably the funniest coach in the NFL in terms of how he completely refuses to abandon principle, and he will just do exactly what he wants to do, whether like results be damned. He's going to coach his style of defense, and I guess there's some respect in that. But I don't think I have much else to say. Just another game you feel like was within reach that we just couldn't close out on, and I I got a fun take loaded up for this next game that you're not gonna like probably, but that's okay. We'll
That
talk
I'm
about
not
it.
gonna like.
Well, not that you'll hate it. It's just yeah, it's a little silly. We'll talk about it when we do our game picks. I got a take for this next Titans matchup, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. But is it time for our wins and losses segment here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Our
Okay.
best wins, our
My
worst wins,
best.
our best losses, and our worst
Ooh,
losses.
yes, sir. All right. So, you going first? Am I going first? I think you should go first. You're the guest. You should give me your
Okay.
best win.
My best win, I went with the Packers over the Cardinals.
Mm.
I think Cardinals were coming off their best win of the seasons against the Niners.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, I think the Cardinals, the questions around them aren't the offense, it's the defense. But you hold this offense to, what was it, 13
I
points?
think so, yeah. 32, 13 or something like that.
You do that, your quarterback throws 4 touchdowns, two to a receiver that was openly upset
Mm-hmm.
in Romeo Dobbs. But you feed him, he gets his 2 touchdowns. I doubt he replicates, that specifically thing, going forward.
This is basically
But
the here, damn kind of
yeah,
game for him, yeah.
but yeah, just a good all around win, each side of the ball. I mean, that's pretty much it. Jordan Love is looking, really good again, and the defense is keeping up,
Yeah.
which is what you want to see. So, in a extremely tough division, the toughest division
Yeah,
in football, you
have to
get a
keep
win.
up. You have to keep
Anytime you get a win, it's going to be in contention for best win for those teams because of just how tough
Yeah.
it is.
The
And I'll say this
NFC
very quickly because we didn't pick this one. We didn't pick this game at all.
Yeah.
Bears have another great win just because of how great Caleb looks. Just a quick honorable mention, I guess, because it's probably something we both would want to mention.
Well, yeah, well, Mitch, I don't think you and I were ever concerned with Caleb's slow start
No.
in the first 2 weeks of the season. I don't think you and I were like, he's a bust. He sucks.
For rookie quarterbacks, I pretty much give them the entire year. Like, let me see some flashes.
Right.
But in terms of consistent play, I give you the whole year. Next year, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, now show me
If
consistency.
you show me that you have like the ability to be molded into something, even if you're the first overall pick, I still don't expect you to be
Yeah.
Jesus. Like it's great if you are, but
Yeah. Apparently, you need to be the number 2 overall pick to play like that back-to-back years.
must be, yeah. But well, granted, Caleb's playing a lot better right now than Bryce Young.
Oh no,
was last year.
it's a race. I mean, well, it's not a race quite yet, but it can turn into one.
I think Caleb leads pretty comfortably in touchdowns. I think, and they have the
Possibly.
same. They have the same team record now. So
Passing or total?
I think both. Both. I think in total touchdowns, Caleb still leads. So and then they have the same record. So I don't know I think the Jaden Daniels MVP talks got just a little too heated for a bit there. As great as he's
I
been
mean, I don't
playing,
know. I think
people just want to see a rookie MVP because it's never been done before, and people like.
I mean, he could have. I think he could still end up having a case with the offense that they're leading, having to make up for the defense not being the best, especially you lose Jonathan Allen.
Your best corner, yeah, I think there's an argument to be made there.
So I don't think it's actually that crazy with how's like efficient that offense has been, him
Right.
leading it, and then also because I mean, and then in terms of for the offensive rookie of the year race, it'll be tough for it to be a true race because both are leading to team success, and one I think is going to win the division, the other one could have like a great record and then either miss the playoffs just because of the division they're in, or be like the 7th seed and still be like the 3rd or 4th team in their division.
I think at this rate we're gonna see 4 NFC North playoff teams, and then it's just
Fine with me.
got some combination of Tampa and Atlanta, or Tampa or Atlanta, and then I mean Washington should run away with the NFC East in theory, and then whoever claws their way out of the NFC West. You didn't think that would be a division where everybody's record kind of stinks, but
I mean, maybe, but the thought process is they're all so good and they're playing each other. That's the only way you work your way there.
Well, it's kind of like what the Big 12 does every year, where they kind of like cannibal. It's like the Pac-12 did it too when it existed. RP. They're bringing it back though, but they play each other, so they cannibalize each other, and then yeah, it ends up making their conference look worse. Just like it's making the NFC West look worse right now because they played so many divisional games so early in the season. So yeah, I do think like Seattle's definitely got problems when you start out 3-0 and you end up 3-3. You know, there's definitely some
I
looking
jinxed
to
them.
do internally. Yeah,
My fault.
yeah. You're like, man, Gabe looks like a genius right now with that preseason Seahawks division win.
And then,
So, I guess the good thing you can say about Arizona, even after that loss, is that they're only a game back. So, yeah, and they have two division. Their two wins are in the division as well.
which
So
is
they've
huge.
beaten the Rams and they've beaten the Niners. So like that's big. So like they're not out of it in the slightest. So like I don't. Feel
And it was on the road for the Niners. I don't know about the
yeah.
Rams.
But also, I saw somebody tweet this out. They were like, Jordan Love plays like there's a guy on the sideline flipping a lever between Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, and he just kind of does it intermittently throughout the game. And I think that's a very accurate descriptor of how Jordan Love played, because he does have that like Aaron Rodgers "le fuck you 3" wrist flip kind of thing that Rodgers does, you know. But also there was that one play.
So he steals welfare money.
Yeah, well,
Just in the middle of the game.
He's our Secretary of Treasury.
Yeah.
Jordan Love, Secretary of Treasury. But he also does that thing, like there was one
Where he
play in the game
shakes.
that looked very Favre-esque, where he got hit as he threw and he just kind of sent it in the air and receiver made a play, and like okay, maybe, you know, analytically that's not the best throw in the world, but like who the fuck cares, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Football's not like baseball where you can completely compartmentalize it into numbers. Like, there is no dog statistic. You know what I mean? There's no way to accurately measure when somebody's just got it. You know, like sometimes old heads know what the fuck they're talking about, and when they're like, he's just got it, man. He just wants it more.
They don't say it
Sometimes
like
they're
how
right,
we.
you know.
Well, they don't say it like how we say it in this generation of like he
Right.
just has aura. He just has
Right,
aura.
Like we all have different, ways of putting it together, but like it's the same. We're just repackaging the same shit people have been saying for decades about football
Yeah.
player, because it is a different game. You know, like an individual play can win you a game, and sometimes you can be the better team, and like one guy in particular just wants it more in one moment, and then you lost. Shit happens. Now, obviously, that's not what happened in this game, but yeah, good win for Green Bay. Got to keep winning in that division. For my best win, I went with Buffalo. Get a W on the road, and what do you call it in the division? So you've got a comfortable lead over your division now.
You know, I was tempted to put this one in best loss
For the Jets, because it forced them
Jets.
into action. Well, there's an arms race going on in the AFC East right now, because the Bills traded a third-round pick for Amari Cooper, and the Jets traded a conditional third-rounder, potentially a second-rounder based on incentives or whatever, to Devontae Adams.
I think the incentives were it was either conference championship and Devontae plays, or Super Bowl and Devontae plays, or he's voted an All-Pro. Either team.
Now the real winner here is my sleeper league fantasy team, because I am the proud owner of both Amari Cooper and Devontae Adams. My team is like 2-4 right now. I needed this. We just got a whole lot better. So I've been forced to start Calvin Ridley the last couple of weeks, and it's not working out for me. So,
And I just got a notification that Devontae is planning on playing this week.
yeah, like Amari Cooper probably wouldn't be able to play. Like he maybe has a couple packages. Devontae can jump in right away in this offense with Aaron Rodgers.
Especially because apparently 15 minutes after the trade was done, Devontae was in the building.
Yeah, like he probably spent the night at Aaron's house, and then like drove with him to the facility, stayed outside until it became official, and then walked in the facility to get to work.
Yeah.
Like, that's probably exactly how it happened. Because they knew this was coming, so
Yeah.
We all did pretty much as soon as it was announced that they had granted him permission to seek a trade. Like this would seem like the most likely destination.
There were some sleepers here and there that kind of made some sense, but
New Orleans never really made sense to me. I didn't like.
It's just because they were at the time when those rumors were happening, they were playing well,
right?
And Derek Carr was healthy and his friend.
Yeah, I still thought the fit was kind of weird, but I do think. I like Cooper to the Bills too. That's gonna take longer to acclimate than Adams to the Jets, but I think ultimately, they went one game without Khalil Shakir, and they were like, yeah, we can't do that shit again. So it's like, okay, we're getting a real wide receiver one now,
And they did it
and
in a win, which is another reason why this is one of the best wins, is
yeah,
because they have these question marks. They
and they
still
just
find a
got
way to
better.
win, and they get
Win
better.
on the road in the division in prime time, and you just got better. Um, yeah, that's awesome. Good for them. Shout out Buffalo. Good win. Um, I do want to say though, I don't like Sean McDermott. I know it's not the first time I've said this. I just feel the need to reinforce this
It's an
belief.
increasingly popular
I
take.
don't. Well, and I'm glad. Honestly, I'm glad more and more people are kind of coming around to this conclusion because it's. I've been sitting on it for probably a
Coming.
couple of years, but not like, and never concrete because it's always there's always other fingers to be pointed, and like he's been willing to make change when it's needed. Like firing Ken Dorsey and promoting Joe Brady, like that was obviously the right call. And I think Bobby Babich is better than Leslie Frazier was. Like that was a good call too, and that's why I'm not like out on McDermott, but
Yeah, I
he's just
mean, this
not like a
defense lost a
great.
lot and is still playing
Yeah,
well. Like, I don't know. It's just like you're just watching like a good coach with a great quarterback, and you're like, ah,
right. Like I feel like if this, I don't like if Bill Belichick was the Bills coach. What I mean, I feel like they'd be in a little better spot. If oh, there's other coaches that I feel that like the Buffalo playoff chokes we've seen the last few years, and McDermott just not being, I feel like the best game planner, not making the best decisions often in games. Uh, I don't know. I'm
it's
not
like
saying I'm
great
not saying
culture
fire
setter.
McDermott. I'm just saying like he feels like more of a glue guy than like a
Yeah.
great coach. So I
It's
don't know.
like you need to really hit on your coordinator hires and all of your. You have to do
Yeah,
everything else
because he
like
doesn't
really
he doesn't
well.
call plays defensively either. He's a defensive head coach, but he's not even the one calling plays. So he needs to hit on both coordinators every single time.
Mhm.
And at this rate, you're probably not going to have Joe Brady forever. He was an ascending name a while ago. Kind of had that setback because Carolina's offense wasn't very good. But I
And
mean,
now
he's
people are
back
going,
in the
oh, actually, that
saddle.
probably wasn't his fault.
Yeah, he's back in the saddle, and it looks good. And like the whole scapegoat thing in Carolina was Matt Rule wanted to run the ball 30 times a game, and Joe Brady wanted to just air it out if you play. The Bills, at least coming into this game, had like a 52% run percentage. So they were running the ball more than they were throwing it. I don't buy this shit that Joe Brady doesn't like to run the ball. That's at least not anymore, clearly. If that was true 4 years ago, it's not true today. So, um, yeah. Yeah,
And
I,
I
I
mean,
like Joe Brady a lot. I think he's going to be a head coach for the next couple of
with
years.
seemingly short notice of Cook not playing, they still ran it
Ray
well.
Davis just
Ray Davis
fucked
was
him up.
20 carries, 97 yards. That's
Mm-hmm.
4.8 a carry, plus 4 carries for 34 yards by Ty Johnson. That's eight and a
Mm-hmm.
half a carry.
Not to mention, Ray Davis had like 50 yards, almost. I think 49 yards for receiving. Because I think he had
Yes, he had
140.
3 receptions for
Yeah.
53 yards. Was their
Okay.
leading receiver. Probably something that made them go, you know what?
If
Let's
the
let's get
if
let's
the
get a
backup rookie running back is our leading receiver, we might need some help. So
yeah, and they
Amari
fixed
Cooper
that.
is help. Amari Cooper is definitely help. That's gonna be fun. I'm excited for that.
Yes. Okay. So what? Worst win.
Sure, we'll fire that off.
All right. This is the weekly Steelers hate segment. My worst win is the Steelers over the Raiders. Um, just I just don't want to see the Steelers make playoffs. I don't.
It's bad. It's
It's
bad for football. Honestly, it's bad
it
television.
is
The Steelers are
apparently
not
they
good
might be
television.
playing Russell Wilson. I think I saw a
That's what
report he's
I
getting first
heard.
team snaps,
That's what I heard too from a coworker
which
today. Seems
which
silly if you're 4-2, just play the guy who's been playing decent
yeah,
football.
you ride that out,
You ride
especially
it out
after
until Fields has a bad game is when you should.
especially after a 32-point game.
I don't know.
Like your offense scores 32. I'm trying to remember if there was any defense or special teams touchdowns. I'm forgetting. Um,
Probably
touchdown. Najee Harris had a big run. Justin Fields. No, it was all field goals, and then your offense. And then not like you're running the ball well. That and Justin Field is going to play a big part in
Yeah.
that because Najee had 100 yards on just 14 carries.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Also, part
Um,
of the speaking of defensive touchdowns, by the way, and also speed of Amari Cooper. Do you know who the Browns' leading scorer in touchdowns is right now?
um, whoever picked up that.
It's Rodney McLeod.
Hmm.
Safety Rodney McLeod has the most touchdowns on his football team through 6 weeks of the NFL season. There's a reason the Bills fired Ken Dorsey. I don't know what to tell you, but
There is so much going on Cleveland offensively,
yeah,
which we can get to. I mean, but we've said the same stuff about the Steelers because I think your worst win was Eagles Browns,
it
right?
was, and we can talk about this because there was some. For one, this does not look impressive by Philly in the slightest. You have AJ Brown back, and he has a dominant performance in this game.
Wait, since we
And you only win
brought
by
up the
4.
Browns, you want to finish like their part and then go into the
Okay, sure.
Eagles side of it?
Deshaun Watson sucks, by the way. They're 0 for
He-
26 on his last 26 third
It's
down
just-
conversion attempts.
The idea of keep playing him is like we're spending so much money; it'd be a waste for him to be on the bench. The amount of money you spend everywhere else on the roster is getting wasted by
Yeah.
playing him,
You're
not just
You're going to
offensively.
be spending the money regardless, whether he starts or he sits. You may as well
'Cause-
get a better football team out of it.
It's not just offensively the money you're wasting. Like you're losing games because of it. Any money on the defense, like Miles Garrett, you're wasting that money because you're not going to
Denzel
win
Ward's money.
with
You were
Deshaun
wasting
Watson.
Amari Cooper's money. And by the way, they're pretty much paying this entire year for Amari Cooper's salary. 'Cause
I saw it was
before
like
the season
only
started-
800K for the Bills.
Yeah, they converted it into a signing bonus for the year. It's like $20 million. So
Yeah.
the Browns are on the books for most of Amari Cooper's salary this year, so they're still paying Amari Cooper. But you've got guys on defense. You've got Denzel Ward. You've got Miles.
Lie
Garrett.
about an injury. Just be
Yeah.
like, oh, he's hurt,
Yeah,
and try to for whatever reason, just so it's not like a
he's got an AC
as-
joint sprain or whatever. Yeah.
yeah. So it's not something as looked into of like, oh wow, Deshaun's not starting anymore. Like they're admitting defeat. They're gonna do blah 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 blah. It's to keep the storyline of that quieter.
Mm-hmm.
Fake a fucking injury and just play what Jameis is that the backup?
Play Jameis. I think DTR is still there. I think he's the QB3. So I'll play Jameis, play DTR. I don't care. Honestly, just stop playing Watson. You're not getting anything out of it. It's not working. Just put somebody else in the game.
Yeah. That's the Browns side of it. But
Yeah.
to the winner of that game, Philadelphia Eagles and their spectacular head coach.
Oh my goodness, Nick Sirianni should go fuck himself, man.
He's so unlikable.
Look, what are you doing? Grown ass man, right? Head coach of an NFL team. You've been to a Super Bowl. Why are you arguing with fans after the game is over? And then to avoid any and all confrontation at the press conference, you bring your kid up on the podium with you. Go fuck yourself. Why are you're using your son as a human shield because you're too much of a pussy to own
It's
up
the
to
exact
you being
phrase I was gonna
immature?
say.
Seriously? There is nothing to like about this man.
None.
I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't know. He's not a glue guy in the locker room. Jalen Hurts is the fucking as much as I've been critical. of
Big
his
Dom
play,
is apparently the glue guy.
Yeah, there is a million different guys on this team who are more important leaders to this organization than Nick Sirianni is. He doesn't call plays. What exactly is his job other than to be a prick? That's his whole fucking job. That's all he does.
It's like both his coordinators left, and I know the Cardinals are still only like 2-4, and the I think what are the Colts? Are they 3-3?
3-3, yeah.
So their records aren't better, but I would still feel like much better about this team if they had either of them as the head
If Shane
coach.
Steichen was the head coach of the Eagles, their offense would probably be a decent bit better. Hurts would probably still look good if Shane Steichen was the head coach of the Eagles.
And with Jonathan Gannon, maybe it's the exact same team, but without just the annoying bullshit you get.
Or they would just have a
with Nick
likable head
Sirianni.
coach. Gannon's a fun guy. Like, Sirianni's just a prick.
Yeah.
So, yeah, fuck Nick Sirianni is the takeaway. Unconvincing win. They stink. Yeah, fuck Nick Sirianni. Commanders winning the division. Well, let's move on, I guess, to can move on to did you do your worst? You did your worst win this Pittsburgh. So you want to do your best
Yeah.
loss?
Best loss.
Hmm.
This is the fun one to talk about. It is the Patriots to the Texans. Texans without Nico Collins looked great. It was in contention for best win, but the more fun aspect of this game, honestly, is that we saw Drake May play, and you see why he got taken third overall. Still a loss, but you see the high end play that you need to see to feel confident going forward in like
Yeah,
continuing to build around him, giving them an opportunity
yeah.
to show it, to be the franchise guy.
With
He made
how
some great
with
throws.
how bad this offensive line is, with how bad this wide receiver core is, and May still managed to not like look as good as he did, but also made for the most part made some intelligent decisions. Like how many he scrambled for like 4 first downs in this game.
And the game started off really bad. He was like 1 for 3, an interception.
Yeah,
Like it was bad to start and to mentally like not let that affect him.
yeah.
Continue to
Just
go out
get
there
back out
and just
there,
get
do
better
your
as the
thing.
game went on.
Yeah, get used to the flow of an NFL football game, and then
He did get smacked around a little bit though.
well, it's that Patriots offense. You got Vidarian Lowe at
Yeah.
left tackle, and ain't getting much better. Like it.
Is there any chance the Patriots could be like, all right, we showed the fans the future. Let's box him back up. Let's
No, I
put
don't
Jacoby
think so.
Brissett
I
back
think
out there.
I think there'd be riots. It's the same thing with like remember like last year Ryan Tannehill had 2 touchdown passes through 6 games and Levis had 4 in his first start. Brissett had 2 touchdown passes up to this point in the season. May had 3 in this game. You don't bench
Yep.
the guy who has more touchdowns in one game than your starter has had all season long. It's just not realistic. Like you just play the man that's
Yeah.
putting the numbers up. So
But man, and you lose, so your draft record still is in a good
so you
spot.
can go
I think
you can go get Drake May a left tackle this year, which is exactly which is what they're going to do more than likely, get him a left tackle.
it's what they should. I know it'll be tempting with certain wide receivers at the top of the board, but the Patriots are an organization that you feel like they're going to take the linemen.
You'd hope. You'd hope. They
And
did take
Gerard
Jared
Mayo's,
at the top of the
it
second.
just, I don't know, everything, like, it seems like they'll take the
I
linemen.
hope so. Yeah.
Let me double check. I just had this pulled up. Current NFL draft order. Oh, the Patriots actually have the number 1 overall pick.
You have your pick of who you want then, so go get your guy.
I mean, like I said, if there's a trade out there to move back a couple of slots, that's ideal, obviously. But it's hard. There's no quarterback that teams are going to be dying to move up for, I don't think. But trade could always be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, whoever they want, they'll have, which is great. And we'll get into it later, but next week's game with the Patriots is huge for draft implications.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. And I think going back to what we said at the start of the pod when I was talking about, internet like reactionary culture, as soon as Jaden Daniels started playing well, there was some very unintelligent conversations about Drake May because, a lot of people wanted Drake May second overall. And, I mean, obviously, I had May above Daniels in my rankings. This isn't, me refusing to eat crow here. Daniels has been awesome. But it's just
I probably did too.
it's when people, like May hadn't even taken an NFL snap yet. And people were, like, shitting on Drake May to bring Jaden Daniels up. And it's like, what? Why put down a guy who has yet to even throw a football? You can just say Jaden Daniels is good. Like he is. He can that can stand on its own. And it's not like and after seeing Drake May in this first game, like yeah, Daniels has better infrastructure around him, but May looks good even despite not having good infrastructure around him. So I'm not going to feel bad about Drake May just because Jaden Daniels looks fantastic and Caleb Williams is starting to put it together. No, May looked good in his first start. I want to see him play some more. So, I think New England is allowed to be happy with who they got at quarterback. At least up to this point. So, yeah, silly, just nonsensical takes that people come up with after early into football seasons, often regarding rookies, and the NFL takes time for most players, so it just is what it is. But what's else?
So
What else
your-
is on the docket?
Your best loss.
Best loss. I went with funny enough, I went with the Commanders.
Oh, yeah,
good
speaking of
good
greatness.
segue there. So you hang with what is probably the team that's playing the best football in the NFL right now, and you hang right up with them. It's only a 1-score loss. you feel good about yourself. You feel good about where your football team is. Um, you feel like you can hang with anybody at this point. And not to mention, you were on the road too. Um, by the way, uh, there was, so I know you know this, but there was a Ravens fan
Oh
after
my
the
god.
game who went around assaulting Commanders fans who were just in the vicinity. And now he's already been fired from his job. They found his LinkedIn account. A bunch of people emailed his employer. He's already been fired. He got doxxed as well. I know his address got leaked. And then somebody else found out that there was a girl on his college campus who had taken a picture of him, printed it out, hung it up in a bunch of different areas, and basically calling him a rapist, saying that that's what he had done. And I'm not saying like he did it. I'm saying if ever there was a guy who you'd think would fit the archetype of someone who would, it's a guy who goes around assaulting people after his football team wins the game.
That's the craziest part of this whole thing.
Why are you hitting
You
people?
won.
You won. Go home and celebrate. Have a drink or two. Well, he had to have been drunk.
Oh, dude, he was
fucking
sauced.
hammered. Had to be. But like, why are you hitting people after a win? You won. What you assaulting people for? Go home.
I know. Like, I've never even touched that level of rage needed to hit people in losses.
No.
I'm more likely to cry than anything else, but like, I can't fathom doing that after a win.
Which is precisely like what I'm saying. If ever there was a type of archetype to sexually assault someone, it's a guy who has no problem physically assaulting someone.
So was that the guy that you sent earlier? Because I didn't realize who that was. When you
that
sent
was that
into
guy. That was.
I
That
was
guy.
like, this is okay, random. I don't know who the fuck this is.
No, that was the Ravens
I just
fan
slightly
who
read what he
did.
said on Snapchat, and I was like,
Okay.
he probably did this shit. I don't know
Yeah.
who this is, but what I read on Snapchat,
That
he
was
probably did this shit.
That was the Ravens fan who got Jack Hollins or John Hollins, whatever his name was. I don't remember, but
Mac Hollins?
Mac
Oh my
Hollins.
god!
Oh my god! I thought he was a good guy. Yeah, or maybe it was Collins or something like that. Jack Collins or John. I don't know. I'm tripping. But either way, this guy allegedly has also done some not good things on his college campus towards a woman, at least one woman that we're aware of. One woman that's spoken out and has warned others. So, like I said, if ever there was a guy who would do it, it's somebody who has no problem physically assaulting people either. So on camera, mind you. So
I always wonder
he probably did that shit.
when that video in a video anything remotely like that comes out. I wonder what the players of that team think, especially the player whose jersey he's wearing. That's like, oh fuck, come on me. Why are you rocking my name?
You're like, come the fuck on, dude. Like,
Dude,
what are you
God
doing?
damn it.
What are you doing? That's bad for the brand. Because they gotta know, they gotta be aware of what the. And then if you're the jersey of the guy that just got slapped, you're like, man, I'm getting bitched out there. Like, I'm getting tossed around. He's got to step up. He's got to defend himself. He's getting his shit kicked in wearing my jersey. But, yeah, just a crazy exchange of events. Fuck that guy though. Fuck that guy. Fuck everything about him. Fuck his friends. Fuck his mama. Fuck his pets if he has any.
Cut to his mom always telling him to be nice and all this.
Yeah,
She's doing
it's
everything
like,
right, but
he
just
gets all of this from his father, and she's like, "What the fuck did I?"
Well, no, he just got fucking. He fell down a rabbit hole on the internet one day, and
have
just
been,
hasn't been the same kid since.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of Jordan Peterson lately.
Jordan Peterson would not send somebody to do that.
No, of course he wouldn't. He's not. I'm not saying that. It's just I don't know.
Clean your room.
Yeah.
Make your bed. Lobsters, whatever the fuck he talks about.
Something like that.
Because there is
That's
like
exactly
some
how he talks,
crustacean.
so I want to see. I've seen pictures of them together. I need to hear a conversation between Jordan Peterson and RFK Jr. Just the voices clashing.
I haven't seen that.
I've seen a picture of them standing next to each other, and somebody was like your two gay uncles at the whatever function there or something like that. Yeah, but
Yeah, I cut a whale's head off. You can't do that in a modern society with the rules that we have constructed. You can't be doing
he's
this.
a pretty good Jordan Peterson, but
I've seen some vids. I don't hate him. Anything I've seen, he's just like, clean your room, take responsibility for your life.
That is good stuff. But then he's also bitching about the woke mind virus, whatever the fuck that means. I don't know. That's a fun buzzword.
There's thought police running around telling you what you can and cannot say. That's detrimental to a society.
What'd you end up putting for worst loss?
My worst loss. I might have to pull out the Peterson every now and then. I like doing it. But I went with the Saints losing to the Bucks.
Yep.
Purely just scoreboard. I mean, 51 points hung on you. I know it wasn't the biggest differential of the week, but 50 burger dropped on. We'll get there.
Well, I was gonna say it matters a bit more when you factor in that the Saints only scored in the second quarter. Most normal day of
and
NFC,
a specials team touch.
Most normal day of NFC South football is the Bucks going up like 24-0, and then or 24-3 or whatever, and then the score being 27-24 with the Saints lead, and then the game ending up 51-27. Most normal day of NFC South football, right there.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, because I know there was a special teams touchdown in there. Because I'm pulling it up. Yeah, second quarter. Because the scoring summary reads first quarter, it's touchdown, field goal for the Bucks, and then the second quarter reads field goal for the Bucks, touchdown for the Bucks, or the Saints. I mean, field goal for the Saints, touchdown for the Saints, field goal for the Saints, touchdown for the Saints, touchdown for the Bucks, touchdown for the Saints. They had 3 touchdowns and 2 field goals in one quarter. Yes, that was literally entirely all of their points in the second quarter.
I need to look something
there's
up real quick.
There's a special teams touchdown in there. Spencer Rattler gets his first career passing touchdown. Alvin Kamara runs another one in, and then just nothing else for the entire game. Very interesting bit. But anyways, you're at home. It's a divisional game against probably the division favorite, either them or the Falcons. You're falling behind. You at one point were leading, looked like a juggernaut the first 2 weeks of the season, and then just have completely come back down to earth and more of what was expected of you. I know they eventually had to do it because they were just so far behind, but you just look and you're like, oh man, 40 passes for your rookie quarterback in his first game, who you didn't expect to start all year. That's not good.
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara only has 13 carries. Like I said, I know that probably is mostly just because how behind they got, but yeah, just a bad loss. I mean, divisional game, you got 50 dropped on you. That's going to always be in contention. At home, always going to be in contention for worst loss. So I went with the Saints there. As probably what is the real worst loss of the weekend you have, sir.
Man, the Cowboys are bad.
Dude, I picked the best year to not be a fan.
Yeah, you really.
I picked the best year.
You dodged.
I was just like, you know what? We're running it back. This is gonna suck. This isn't gonna go well.
Yeah, Mike Zimmer's defense is not good.
I mean,
neither really is Mike McCarthy's offense, for that matter.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's tough when your best defense. They literally, if you were to rank them, I could see the argument that the 3 best defensive players for the Cowboys are out. Mm-hmm. DeRon Bland, DeMarcus Lawrence, and of course Micah Parsons. He maybe hasn't been Micah Parsons when he was playing, but yeah. But fuck it. All this means is new coach next year, which going into the season, you knew that was going to be the end result.
Yeah. I think Brian Flores would be a good fit for Dallas. I do think that'd be one. He'd shore up the defense immediately. Not to mention you have an established quarterback, so it's not like you're dealing with a Brian Flores Tua situation.
Yep.
Which is what you want to avoid with Brian Flores. I don't think
and
he's
this isn't a
candidate, but
this isn't a shot at Tua, but I think Dak could handle a Brian Flores better.
Yeah, I don't know that. I don't want to call Tua soft, but I don't think that relationship just worked.
No. I'm definitely not gonna call him soft because I'm definitely more like Tua. Like right. That's how I would be
that
too.
That would piss me off. Like what Brian Flores said, that shit would piss me off.
Yeah, I'd be like, dude, what the fuck? What are we doing?
Especially
I'm like, why are we being friends?
Coach, it is quite literally your job to have belief in me. That's like how a team is supposed to work. Especially if you're benching him in his rookie season because he had a couple bad games. Like what the fuck? No, if you're gonna play your rookie, play your rookie. But I mean, what? Yeah, just a bad relationship, bad all around. I like Brian Flores at Dallas though.
Brian Flores shores up the defense, and then you probably spend more draft capital on the draft capital. if this team was competent, free agency as well, just on the offensive line to shore it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you have Dak, who is serviceable,
Yeah.
can be a good quarterback. With CeeDee
A little
Lamb,
better
Jalen
than
Tolbert's
serviceable,
looking
but
pretty good.
yeah.
Ferguson's a good tight end. You just you get it you. It's like offensive line and running back are what you attack in the offseason.
Yeah. Mom asked me if the dishes were washed. I sent her a picture of Zach Martin.
Yeah, very, very funny.
Yeah. He
Very
did. I
funny.
think it's happened before. It's just very rare. But he's not the first person ever put up a 0 in like a pass protection grade. Like I think Greg Scott did that last year. But yeah,
Shit happens.
not his best day by any means. But
And he might retire after this year. Like how he was talking preseason, I was like, oh, this might be it.
he might already be a little checked out mentally, and maybe that's why
He
he's
probably was like,
playing
all
worse
right,
this year.
I like the roster. Let me gear up for one more season, and then it goes bad, and he's just like, oh, what the fuck am I doing here?
What incentive does he have to really be like putting his body
Locked
on
in.
the line more, by giving it his all rather than maybe kind of preserving.
Dude, if they lose one more, he should just be like, hey, shut me down. I might run it back with you next season if you get Bill Belichick, but other than that, I'm probably gone.
Belichick would also be a great fit in Dallas. Belichick or Flores, I think I'd be very happy if I was a Cowboys fan.
I'll be back next year if either of those two men are hired.
Yeah.
Otherwise, hearing Jerry speak pisses me off more and more. If it's not one of those two guys or some third guy that really surprises me because I think those two are on the table. I don't know why, but some of these offensive-minded guys that are like really highly touted, like a Ben Johnson, I'm like, there's just no way.
Yeah.
But for some reason, those two feel on the table. But if I'm not really wowed by the head coaching hire, I'm out. Like I probably will stay out.
Jerry probably wants an established coach, and Brian Flores has head coaching experience. Bill Belichick, obviously, greatest head coach ever. So
yeah,
I feel like Jerry would be the type to throw a decent sized check at Belichick, be like, like what are we doing? Because like that, just like the Matt McCarthy hire, he hired a head coach who had already won a Super Bowl. Like he wanted a guy who he thought could get him there. So
and.
That
I don't know
like
what
more up Jerry's alley to hire
I don't know what Mike would do next year. Does he take another year off like he did after Green Bay?
I don't think anybody's going to be willing to hire Mike. It might not have a choice of taking a year off. He could be brought on as like a consultant, like Mike Vrabel is for Cleveland right now. Like I could see him doing that, or he might just take a year-long darkness retreat or whatever, like he did last time.
I feel kind of bad for him because he grew on me last year, and I'm like, Dak, I don't know if it was your decision to pay Dak this much money. I doubt it.
Probably Jerry's decision, if I had to take a guess.
And then it's like, I don't know, CD hasn't been on the top of his game. Like, Ferguson gets hurt for a little bit. The offensive line just isn't as good. I don't know.
Yep. Do you want to do picks?
Yeah, let's do picks, and then we'll do top 10. Brayden's best. So picks.
I think I had a bad week, if I'm not mistaken. I think I had a
I will be missing this first game because I will be getting on a plane. I'll talk about what's going on next week. I've been traveling, dude. I've been traveling these past couple weeks.
Oh, apparently Brady has been okayed by the...
Oh, yeah. He is now a 5% owner of the Raiders. It's probably unanimously, it's probably the owners being like, if we do this, he can't come out of retirement and play for some other team?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, well, let him in.
Yep. All right. I don't think I'm watching this. I don't think I have any intentions of watching this football game, if I'm being brutally honest with you. I don't think I care about watching Broncos and Saints.
These teams have had, like, some games where it's like, oh, this looks really good, that it could be a fun game between the two, and other times it's like, oh, this sucks. This team sucks.
By the way, when I said, give me a second to look something up, I was looking up Bo Nix's passing chart from this last week. He is the passing chart king this season so far. It's been funny every week for the most part. Not that he had like a terrible game. He had 2 touchdowns, both over 10 yards. But
I'm gonna go Broncos, but I could really see this going either way. Saints are at home. You could, because to me, it's either you could say, hey, Spencer Rattler has another week, he'll play better, or you're like, this is a rookie quarterback. Who's now played a game that people can watch footage of, and like maybe the best group of corners in the NFL with the Broncos. like
Yeah.
at least in terms of depth, covering, and Spencer Rattler having to deal with.
Yeah, I think
I'm gonna lean that way. Give
I'm
me
gonna
the
take I'm gonna
Broncos.
take Denver. Not by a ton. It's a weird. Like,
Oh,
it's
we tied last week, by the way. We both
okay.
had 10 correct.
Oh, we both had good weeks then.
Yeah, we both had
Okay.
some pretty good weeks. I can quickly, before I forget. Yeah, so we both had 10.
Yeah.
We were both wrong about Seattle, wrong about the Jags,
Yeah.
both right about Baltimore. I was right about Green Bay,
Yeah.
both right about Houston, both right about Tampa, both right about Philly. I was right about Indy. You were right about the Chargers. You were right about Pittsburgh. Both
Yeah.
right about Atlanta. Both right about Detroit.
Yeah.
Both right about Cincy, and both right about Buffalo.
Yeah. Okay. Good week for us then. Good job, man. High five.
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah.
Patriots at I'm gonna say at Jaguars because they didn't leave London.
This is why, and that's why I'm picking the Jags. They're more
favored
acclimated
by
to London.
5.5. Like Vegas knows
That's too
this
much.
shit matters. No, well, hang on. The Jaguars beat the Bills last year in this exact same scenario. If you remember, the Jags had 2 straight weeks in London last year, and they looked way more prepared to be there than Buffalo did. And New England not being a good football team, Jacksonville's going to win this game.
And it's a rookie quarterback's second game having to go over all the way over to London.
Now there's some tape on them at least. You know, there's
that as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, give me the Jags, which is great for the Patriots because now
Yeah.
I'm starting. Now Patriots are one of those teams where like they're bad, but there's like a fun bad to it of like what they could be in the draft.
Definitely. I want to watch
that
Drake May.
I like.
Yeah.
So now Patriots are low key becoming like one of like my teams. You have a couple teams that you like.
Yeah.
You take an interest in. The Patriots are that for me, but I want them to lose.
Yeah. Because I want them to get that quality left tackle. Now, granted, like, for me, like, I was watching this game along with the Titans. Like, I wanted to see Drake May. There was a 27-24 score in the second quarter of a football game, and I didn't change over because I wanted to watch Drake May play. Like, I was committed. I wanted to watch that. So, but yeah, taking Jacksonville. Seattle.
But also, both of those offenses, like the Jags, their offense kind of like one of the reasons it's bad is because it's like big play predicated, and this year's NFL has been very good at containing those comparatively. And then but there's still those possibilities of them, and then obviously with Drake May's cannon, that's always in play, like we saw last week. So it might be a bad game, but you could see some explosive plays every now and then.
I think this is going to be a fun game. It's not going to be a great game, but it's going to be It's going to be a fun one. Seahawks at Falcons. I am going to take Atlanta. I think. I don't love it. I kind of feel like Seattle's due for one, but they're on the road against a good Falcons team. I don't know.
I'll go Seattle.
Okay,
4 straight is crazy to me.
It is. Yeah,
letting Falcons' lack of pass rush, letting Geno a little more time to find DK Metcalf, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Tyler Lockett, Bobo. Give me the Seahawks.
Jake Bobo mentioned, yes sir. All right.
Best wide receiver 4 in the league.
So, actually, I have to take there too. But I told you, I texted you before we started. I said I'm gonna say something. It's gonna sound silly. I'm gonna just need you to hear me out.
Okay.
Tennessee at Buffalo.
Correct.
Josh Allen has no interceptions so far this season on 10 turnover-worthy plays.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane luck. Tennessee has, I don't know how many batted passes this season that they have somehow not come down with interceptions with.
Mm-hmm.
These are 2 teams on the opposite end of the turnover luck spectrum.
Uh-huh.
I think the funny outcome here, when I said the funny outcome, there could be hilarious regression back to the mean for both of these teams here, for Buffalo's offense and Tennessee's defense.
No.
I'm going to pick Tennessee.
You shut the fuck.
Only because the path that in which it would happen would be so fucking funny. Because this would be exactly... Josh Allen, no interceptions through 6 games. Does that not bother you? That's bullshit. It's going to happen.
No, dude, that's my MVP pick.
He's going to start throwing them. It's going to happen. And it's going to be... He's going to throw an interception in this game. I'm going to say at least one interception in this game.
That's more reasonable than what you said beforehand. But give me the Bills.
Tennessee had 1 officially in Indy. It technically had 3. 2 got called back due to penalties. One of them was...
Give me the Bills to cover.
Well, Probably the spread is
Plus
9.
9.
Jesus Christ. uh, I, give me Tennessee. Give me Tennessee because I think they're gonna get some turnovers in this game, and I think they're gonna run the ball. I don't. I think it's gonna be fun. I think there's good. Now, granted, we could get our shit kicked in, and it wouldn't shock me in the slightest. I'm just saying,
Correct.
for a defense that has come this close to getting turnovers every single week,
I don't
an
think Amari
offense that
Cooper
has-
plays.
No,
but the
well,
rest of those
he might
wide
have a
receivers
couple
will be
packages.
juiced up
He
from
might
the
have
trade.
a couple packages, but
Maybe. But those other wide receivers are going to be juiced up from that trade.
But I think for an offense that has come close to turning the ball over more, and a defense that has come close to getting more turnovers, this could be the kind of game that the dam finally breaks for both teams in both directions. So give me Tennessee.
That dam is Josh Allen strong, baby. That is a strong fucking dam.
Hey,
I'm holding up.
Devondre Sweat's a pretty strong fucking dam himself.
If I saw Josh Allen stiff arm Aaron Donald, I'll take
Aaron
Josh
Donald
Allen.
is like 80 pounds lighter than Devondre Sweat. Whatever.
But he doesn't have that strength.
Yeah, he does.
Nah, dude, he doesn't have Aaron Donald's strength.
Whatever. Bengals at Browns. Give me the Bengals. I'm not wasting any fucking time on this.
Yes, sir. Houday.
The Bengals are favored by 6.5 on the road, even though they're 2-4. That's how bad Cleveland is right now. I just need that to be.
Yes. Yeah. And give me the Bengals to cover.
We've got Houston at Green Bay. This is a
fun game.
Yeah. This is
fun game.
Fucking ball game right here. Give me
This is tough. If Nico Collins was here, I think I'd very confidently pick the Texans, but he's not.
Green Bay's at home.
So give me Tank Dell with 100+ yards, baby. Give me the Texans.
Give me the better quarterback. Give me Green Bay.
Ooh, I don't hate you saying that. I still got CJ above him.
Well, I mean,
but I don't hate you saying that.
Jordan Love and Sam Darnold are my two favorite players in the NFL, besides, like, I don't know, Titans players. Like Tyjae Spears or some shit. Hopefully his hamstring's okay. By the way, you're just hammy in the last game, which is not cool.
This is a tough game that can go either way, but
give me Green Bay.
Give me the Texans.
Dolphins at Colts. I better take Indy here. I think Richardson probably plays in this game. Even if it was Flacco, I'd still take Indy no matter what.
Yeah. Tua is like cleared, I think, but I don't know whenever he comes back. I don't know.
Yeah, it's odd. It's an odd.
Yeah,
one.
Give me the Colts.
Yeah, give me Lions at Vikings.
Ooh.
I would, if Minnesota wasn't coming off a bye, I'd pick Detroit, but. You lost Aiden Hutchinson for the year, which fucking god, he was gonna run away with defense.
Oh yeah, we jinxed 2 players. Like we talked about our awards.
Offensive and defensive player of the year. Yeah, they both got hurt, didn't they?
He's put on IR. One of them is out for the year.
His leg is in 2.
Yeah,
his leg is in. I mean,
they just put him on IR.
Folded
he's out for the year.
Broken tibia. He's cooked.
Nico Collins will be back.
Yeah, eventually, but. If Minnesota's coming off by Detroit just lost Aiden Hutchinson, give me Minnesota.
Now that could juice him up a bit, but I don't think it'll be enough.
But Minnesota's offensive line's been really good, and the Lions don't have much pass rush outside of Aiden Hutchinson, and that's how it's been the last couple of years. Like that is their pass rush, is Aiden Hutchinson.
Aaron Jones is getting much needed rest.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, we could see a nice Aaron Jones game in this. He's gonna be fresh, to be healthy.
He knows the Lions.
Yeah, he's.
So give me the Vikings.
Give me Minnesota.
And who is out there as a pass rusher, like Hassan Reddick? Like, who could the Lions trade for?
Hassan Reddick is the only guy that, like, comes to the top of my mind.
Dude, if the Raiders could just be complete sellers.
Max Crosby bleeds silver and black.
He is the
embodiment of that football team.
He's if you take all the positives of what you think about being a Raider
Nation,
and put it in one
Raider
guy,
culture,
it's Max Crosby.
Max Crosby. Well, even I don't want to go there.
He'd fit Dan Campbell, but like
I was gonna say even the negatives too. The guy was an alcoholic at one point, but like that's mean. Like I don't. It's not a bad thing. Like good for him getting over his addiction as well.
Yeah.
And
I feel like even that, like that's the idealized of a Raider.
Yeah,
having something that something like that and being able to push through it.
Lifetime. Yeah, good for him. Good for him. But
yeah.
I'm taking Minnesota, but we've got Eagles and Giants. Give me the fucking Giants. Give me the Giants.
I'll ride with you on that, just because I anytime the Eagles win, I kind of Oh, you know what? Give me the Eagles. This is Saquon against the New York Giants again. He'll probably go crazy. They might have even been conserving him last week for this game. I think I have to go with the Eagles in a crazy Saquon game.
I'm taking the Giants because of Jalen Hurts' terrible pocket awareness and the Giants having the league lead in sacks right now.
Oh fuck! That's another great point though.
Actually, we need to start a dialogue. Sexter Lawrence is probably the best player in the league right now. Player, regardless, not just interior defensive line. He's probably the best player in the NFL. I think there's a very
Sexy Dexy.
big sexy Dexy might just be the best player in the league at this current.
Okay,
I
think Saquon still goes crazy, but I'm gonna ride the Giants with you.
Okay. Raiders at Rams. Rams coming off a bye. They're favored by 6.5. Jesus, I'm gonna take the Rams definitely in this one, but I mean, just gonna be coming off a bye, especially Sean McVay's got to prepare. I think they've got.
They get rest. The Raiders. That locker room is probably upset right now, losing Devontae Adams. I know they probably saw it coming.
Yeah.
And it could be anger that they use properly on the field, or it could just be some like, what the fuck are we doing as an organization, and have some of that. So it could go either way there, but I'm going to ultimately go with the Rams. Panthers at Commanders. Easy Commanders.
This would be a hilarious Panthers win, I feel, but
it would be.
Chiefs at Niners.
This should be primetime. How is this not? Why is this?
We got to watch Jets Steelers.
Dude, there were so many good 12 o'clock games.
I know it's too early in the season to flex. They usually don't flex until like November. But I mean, really,
listen to this.
Steelers.
Listen to this just for the 12 o'clock games. Like you have, I know these teams aren't playing the best, but there's a division rivalry here of Eagles Giants, or both great teams in a division rivalry of Lions Vikings, or just two really good teams right now in Texans Packers.
You've got Seahawks Falcons. I'd rather watch.
A fun battle of the birds.
I don't want to watch none of this shit.
So weird, but give me the Niners.
Kansas City.
I think they won it more.
I'll take Kansas City.
I think the Niners will want it more.
I think that's fair.
Coming off a good game last week, a little extra rest. It's not a full bye, but it is the Thursday game they're coming off of.
I am expecting a bullshit Chiefs win here. I'm expecting like
that would. Dude.
Another San Francisco loss to Kansas City, and I'm expecting this one to be like, really, they couldn't have pulled this one out. Like that's how I think it'll go. And I'm taking the Jets to beat the Steelers as well. Like,
yes, I'll ride with you on that as well.
No.
I probably would have done it before the Devontae trade. I would have made that pick, but give me Devontae coming in. It won't take long for him to adjust to this offense he already knows, with the quarterback he already knows. You have Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson. Now Alan Lazard is a wide receiver 3 when you factor in his connection with the quarterback. Yeah. That's good. That's outright really good. Mike Williams is now like wide receiver 8, 12, I guess.
Yeah.
Can you get a 7th round pick for him?
They probably cut him. He lasted.
It was a 1-year deal
for a while. They probably cut him. If they
I don't know how it was structured. I don't know if it's a cheap.
I don't remember.
We'll see.
By the way, can we stop with this woke nonsense? 2 Monday Night Football games. This is the most Monday Night doubleheaders they've ever done, I think.
I forget that we disagree on this. I like 2 Monday night games.
Whatever. Utter woke.
But, I mean, I'm a more progressive guy than you.
Yeah, you know me. I'm big into the alt-right pipeline, but give me Ravens to cover against the Bucks. By the way, Lamar Jackson does not lose against this conference. Does not happen.
That's true. What's the spread? 3.5.
3.5. I think Baltimore covers. Not comfortably. They win by it's still 1 score, but it's gonna be like 7 or 6 or some shit.
Okay, I can see that. I don't know. I think it'll be close, fun, but I'll ride the Ravens.
I'm taking Baltimore.
Derrick Henry now, especially with Nico Collins out, and he might have even taken this even if Nico was playing. But Derrick Henry's probably Offensive Player of the Year leader right now.
Got more rushing yards than Will Levis does passing yards right now.
What a crazy stray. I was like, Will Levis hasn't played every game. What is this? Why is he taking this shot?
He's had a bye week and he's missed a game, but yeah.
I was like, this is all right, guys. This isn't fair.
Well, every time they get an excuse to do that with the Titans, they do. It's the same stat as like the AJ Brown receiving yards versus.
I was like, why are they doing this? I totally was forgetting about. I mean, I knew he played for the Titans, obviously, but I wasn't actively thinking about because he just is his first year away from the Titans, so they're showing the Titans quarterback totally went over my head as to why they picked Will Levis for this.
Yeah. And then I don't want to give up on them, man. Give me Arizona to beat the Chargers.
Oh,
I
100%.
can't in
100%.
good faith pick against.
It's at home.
Yeah, get it back, get it together.
The Chargers are
weird.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's all the games. We're tied up, baby. We're tied up right now. I am up 8.
The comeback's gonna load though. I think I did. I beat you by 1 the previous week or whatever. And then
yes.
we tied this week.
Yes.
So it's a slow and steady wins the race. All right, we're coming.
Not that slow. I mean, you need to win by 1
every week for the rest of the year. It's all right. We're coming. We're coming for that spot. It's fine.
Are you ready for Brayden's best?
Brayden's breasts. Let's do it.
All right. This is the post week 6 power rankings, ladies and gentlemen. At number 1, I kept with the same team. We have the Ravens.
Yep.
As the best team in football with the, probably the best running game in the NFL. Only competition is the Lions with 2 elite running backs. The Ravens have 1 elite running back, 1 good complement back, and then Lamar Jackson, a quarterback. The Ravens are at 1. Number 2, the undefeated Minnesota Vikings. They had their bye week, so there's not much to talk about in terms of what's different from last week. But undefeated, handling it in the best division in football this year. Probably still have my coach of the year, Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah.
Number 3, the Houston Texans. They have a dominant win. I know the team they played against sucked, but they had the type of win they need without probably their best player in Nico Collins. Luckily, he will be back this year, but you see the depth at wide receiver that they had with Tank Dell, with Stephon Diggs playing well.
This is utter woke nonsense. They had a negative point differential entering this game. They're not better than Kansas City. They're not better than Kansas City.
Dude, yeah. Nonsense. Yes, they are.
Woke nonsense.
If they played right now,
no,
I would pick the Texans 10 out of 10 times. If they played a best of 7, I would probably pick Texans in like 5, maybe 6.
That's you're just getting disrespectful.
No, dude. But
you're not
at number 4,
factoring in the ref ball.
You know what? That's a solid point.
That's
your only solid point you have right now.
At least 6 that they'd win in.
But then at number 4, we do have the Kansas City Chiefs, undefeated champs. I just don't like the vibe. Pacheco's still hurt.
I don't love the vibe.
Rashee Rice out for the year.
Nobody loved the vibe last year, and they won the fucking Super Bowl. Like, it doesn't matter with them. They proved it. I don't know.
It matters when I rank them.
Okay, fair enough.
But also, I think Mahomes is playing individually worse than last year.
I think this is the worst year of his career. Yeah, definitely. He's playing.
So
of his career.
That matters.
With a better receiving core than last year's too. Well, not right now. Not without Rashee Rice, but
no Rashee Rice. They signed Hollywood. He
still hasn't played yet.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But then at number 5, it's going to be tough for this team to kind of stay here with the defensive player of the year who would have been out. But I still have the Detroit Lions at 5. I won't knock them out for losing him until I see the effect of it.
Yeah, until otherwise proven that they will be much worse without him.
But they just beat the shit out of the Dallas Cowboys, who are probably still like an okay team.
Yeah.
Maybe. At least, I mean, they should be. Maybe when some of their players come back. But anyways.
Week, so, they can get some rest.
Yeah, they get some rest, figure out what the fuck to do now on the defensive line. But yeah, the Lions at 5. Second best rushing attack in the NFL. Good complement of receivers around that. Tim Patrick was wide receiver 1 last week.
Yeah.
With their rock, Dan Campbell, Detroit Lions at 5. At number 6, I got the Washington Commanders.
Yep.
I know the defense is not good, but that offense is absolutely electric. Is capable of keeping them in most games. Jane Daniels currently running away with Offensive Rookie of the Year. I know we talked about somebody else earlier who could make it a race, but leading in a division, I think, is probably going to end up being the tiebreaker here. Give me the Commanders at 6. At number 7, I have the Buffalo Bills. This is a team that if with a new wide receiver one could shoot back up these rankings.
Give him a couple weeks, yeah, to
Um,
get that going.
Josh Allen, I'm not going to abandon him as my MVP pick. It's looking good. I still like my chances there. Josh Allen at or the Bills at. You know what? No, it's Josh Allen at number 7. Um, and then at number 8, I went with the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
Like I said, they just had a great win, both sides of the ball. Their defense handled an offense I really like. And then, the offense did what it's supposed to do against a bad defense. Your quarterback goes out there, flicks 4 touchdowns around. You pretty much just force feed a guy who was complaining 2 touchdowns.
Bless you.
Thank you.
I'm excited
Packers
for more NFC North
8.
divisional matchups. I want to see Green Bay play Detroit. You know what I mean? We're going to see Minnesota play them. I want to see Green Bay play them. I want to see them play
Packers
the
Bears
Packers.
is interesting
play
again.
The Bears. You know what I mean? I want to see all of it. So.
And then at number 9, a return to the list. The San Francisco 49ers are starting to look like how we know them to be, at least on offense. Fred Warner, with Aiden Hutchinson out, Fred Warner might be leading defensive player of the year. I don't know. I'd have to reevaluate. To me, it was Hutch so easily, so now I have to kind of reevaluate.
To me, Warner would be my pick right now with Hutch being
probably
I think
mine
Hutch
as well.
Won had he not gotten hurt. I think he would have run away with it.
Which sucks.
Now, Warner is having an incredible season though. Like I'm not gonna feel bad about giving it to Warner either.
No, I won't I know Lions fans will probably asterisk it, but I'm not going to.
No.
It's like injuries happen every year to good players, so it always happens. But yeah, Niners at 9. Fiddling in enough. I didn't think about that. And then at number 10, I don't know, man. Just give me the Falcons.
Yeah.
Just give me the Falcons. I mean, the offense has found its stride. They're utilizing all their playmakers. It looks good. Tyler Algier is getting into the rotation now, which I don't think is a hindrance to anything. It's being a good compliment to Bijan Robinson,
1,000 yards
who had 2 touchdowns.
He's a good football player. Like Algier's good.
Yeah, we're seeing the value of like just having multiple true threats at running back.
Yeah.
Lions, Ravens to an extent.
Tennessee,
Falcons.
if Tyjae Spears can stay on the field.
But yeah, that is Brayden's best.
Brayden's breasts. There we go.
Are we getting deep? Are we cutting deep?
I think we're cutting deep.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're cutting deep.
Cutting deep. Let's do it.
All right, icebreakers. All right, do you believe in ghosts? Why or why not?
I mean, I watched Sam Darnold play football in 2019, so I'd be inclined to say yes, but no, I don't believe in ghosts.
I do not. I won't say. I won't speak that in a definitive sense because who really fucking knows? But I don't. I think my personal belief is when you die, you go one of 2 directions.
Yeah.
And I do think most ghost things usually end up getting explained away with like certain old boilers that give off like a certain frequency. I think was one thing for certain things, and then like certain gas leaks that people aren't recognizing at the time, causing hallucinations. Sleep paralysis, people not knowing what that is and experiencing it, chalking that up to ghosts. Certain things like that.
There is one instance of this that I think is pretty cool. It's my mom and my sister, and my mom saw him first, and it's like this guy who almost looks like he's like drawn, like his silhouette looks drawn with like a pencil, and he has like a bowler hat on, and my mom saw him first, but she thought she was tripping, so she didn't really worry about it. But then my sister told my mom, like, I saw, like, this, like, figure, and my mom didn't tell her what she saw. She just said, what did he look like? And my sister described him the exact same way that my mom did. And they've both seen him multiple times. Like, my mom saw him as she was coming out of the shower. He looked like he was peeking around the doorway. And I think she was home alone, and she audibly said, she was like, seriously? Because he was trying to look at her out of the shower. Yeah, I guess, like, not saying it is a ghost, it's just funny to think about, like, they both shared this experience with my mom not telling my sister what she saw, and my sister happening to see the same thing. And they've both seen him more than once, like, I've never seen him over there, but, it's interesting stuff. you know, it's fun to think about anyway. But no, I don't
Yeah.
definitively believe yes or no on ghosts. It's just, you know, I think the idea that a spirit could somehow still be tied here for one reason or another, it's fun to play around with, certainly.
Just needs a
But
good stroke.
he just needs a wank. Uh, but you gotta find a way to get him off. Gotta start rubbing whatever object he's on, like a genie in a lamp. You know what I mean? Nah, I don't know. But I would say no.
Well, with how old these ghosts probably are, the thing is like, I died fighting for slavery. Please, to free my spirit. It's like, well, I'm not helping you with this, brother. You're stuck.
If I ever saw John Brown's ghost, yeah, I'd give him a quick rub, probably. Yeah. Do another one.
Bake or cook?
Cook.
Cook for sure.
Cook's more sustainable. I ain't baking every day.
No,
I love
mean,
baked goods.
yeah,
I don't like baking though; it's messy.
I like some baked good. I'm not a big sweet tooth guy.
I am, but baking is a very messy process. You get flour everywhere and shit. Like
Yeah.
cooking is not necessarily a messy process. It can be, but baking is almost always messy.
Okay. We're getting deep with such a dumb, obvious answer to this question.
Well, that's fine.
Have a lot of mediocre friends or one really good friend. Why?
Obviously, the one really good friend.
Obviously.
What am I gonna do with a bunch of mediocre friends?
Yeah, you need somebody you could podcast with.
What
What are we doing?
I was gonna say, would I rather have one Brayden or like 50 dude I knew in middle school? No, I want one Brayden.
Yeah,
What are we doing here?
Yeah, dumb. All right, other deep. Oh my god! What the
Another shit.
Okay, have a horribly corrupt government or no government. Why? First of all, a form of government will always kind of just take place, I think. Like it'll be small scale of just like local towns and things like that. So I don't see, because even like in anarchy, like when you see movies and stuff, it's just
There's
like
always communes of people. Like people are doing communism on a small scale throughout the entire landscape.
Communism or like some sort of totalitarianism. Like somebody's taken control. Like somebody. So I guess I just struggle to see what no government would truly look like.
Yeah.
I mean, we already live in a world with a horribly corrupt government.
Right.
And I mean, I'm living good. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of lobbying, a lot of, every 20 years, the CIA declassifies a document where they're like, yep, we did that shit, and we're going to fucking do it again.
We killed a president. What?
Yep. We have overthrown over 70 democratically elected presidents and leaders and shit in other countries in the last, 100 years or so. We've overthrown more than 70 democratically elected.
But it's crazy to think they might have had something to do with a president getting his head blown off.
Maybe. And also, we are the only country ever, not only the only country ever to nuke somebody, we've done it twice, and we still feel like we're the authority on whether or not Iran's allowed to have nukes.
I don't know. Japan was wild one back then.
Oh no, definitely. I mean, I'm not defending Imperial Japan by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just saying, for the panic that the government has currently today, they're like, we have reason to believe Iran has nukes. You have thousands of them. The fuck are you worried about? You're the only one who's ever used one. Why do you get to police everybody else on them? We know you're capable of it. So, what's your fucking issue?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
But to me, this question is just hard to. I can't picture what no government truly looks like.
What's easier to overcome is probably the angle I'll take, is having no government at all versus having, because I'm not an anarchist, right? That's not my utopian society personally.
I guess I don't know. It's also corrupt versus cartoonishly evil. Isn't technically the same thing. The corruption leads to evil stuff, obviously.
With the idea that if there were no government, like you said, there would be a bunch of small communities of governance being formed. With that line of thinking, you could theoretically go to one that suits your beliefs and your needs the best. So, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. If you're talking about cartoonishly
It should be what
evil
the United
government,
States is like.
if you're talking about, well, in theory, yeah, that's what the idea was. But if you're talking about like cartoonishly evil government versus like just going to do just having none at all. I'm gonna say none at all because like you said,
You know what? I'm not paying taxes then. So you know what? Let's go
Right,
none at all.
right.
Wait,
Well,
I work for the government.
well,
Okay, corrupt
hey,
government.
no, they're gonna need HVAC guys in the commune. All right, you'll have work. Okay, it'll be fine.
But they'll need me. Like government don't. I don't really do anything at work.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I might have to
Accidentally
stick. I
became
might have
important at my job, and it's ruining my life.
to. yo, literally, that's what it would be like.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. All right, we're gonna get deeper.
Yes.
We're gonna get deeper.
Okay. Okay. I already have an answer for this one. Is there anything that you feel is missing from our relationship? It's out of our control.
I was gonna
but
say
in-person time spent.
either in-person podcast, just going to get lunch together, some shit, maybe a little sensual snuggle time every once in a while, little butt rubbing,
Dude, don't awaken
like
something in me.
playing with
Chill.
my hair a little bit, like I wouldn't mind, maybe I squeeze those big old biceps of yours or something. I don't know, there's something. I'm a big physical touch guy. I'm a real lover. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, that's the one thing missing from our relationship.
Yeah, obviously it's just being in person. We're states away, time zone away.
Yep.
All right. Have you changed since being in this relationship? In what way? In being friends in general, definitely.
I mean, I've changed quite a bit. Yeah,
from
when we met
freshman year of high school versus now. And then
years
sometimes
later.
when I look at friendships, they almost be like I almost see them in different ways because like the friends we were then, like the level of friends we were then versus the level of friends we are now.
We're much better friends now than we were freshman year of high school.
Yeah, from when we were freshmen in high school, obviously, worldviews have changed.
Yeah,
how communication skills, how I view relationships in general, so everything, pretty much, I think every aspect.
Yeah.
But like, let's if we just marked the podcast on of being the level of friends we are now, I don't know how much I've changed in that time.
Yeah, I mean, probably at least a little bit. 'Cause it's been over a year. Like I'm sure we've both changed in the time frame. I know I definitely have.
I couldn't tell you in what ways though.
Yeah, I'd have to sit there on it for a minute, but no, I've definitely changed. I feel.
But forget how we've changed. Let's see if we can be the same on the same wavelength.
I have terrible news, Brayden. We were supposed to do one more deeper.
I thought it was 2.
Was that 2? What was the first one?
Yeah. Missing from the relationship.
Missing. Oh, I'm retarded.
Killed a great fucking segue.
Sure did. Oh my god. That's what bad friends are for. All right.
Welcome to the Dark Podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
I was gonna say, you just got dark. I got dark like 30 minutes ago. Should we both just go turn a light on real quick?
Yeah, probably.
Let's reconvene in like a second. That's better. That's a lot better.
Yep.
I think this is much more palatable for the viewers too.
Yeah, I was like, this sucks to. I mean, it's a podcast. Usually, you just kind of listen anyways.
Yeah, but
that was like this was
since the start. Hi, Kitty. He's like laying by my feet. Hi, Mister. I love you. So, yeah. Let's see if we're on the same wavelength. Let's take a gander. Now, sir, I do believe you are guessing first. Or no, host guesses first.
Host closes eyes.
Host closes eyes. I always forget how this shit works.
What number is a good one?
I always have that same issue.
I can never remember what I did the previous week.
As long as I don't do the exact same number, I usually feel good about myself.
All right, I have picked a number.
I feel like there's almost like there's plenty of numbers to work with, but I almost feel like there's not enough numbers to work with. You know what I mean?
Well, we've been doing it as long as we have. Yeah,
Well, I
definitely.
feel like all of them are too obvious. I'm like, you know what I think an 8 is. You know what I think a 5 is. You know what that kind
Well,
of thing.
we don't.
I guess not.
You floored me when you had Coke as high as you did.
That shit slaps. I was like, I had it on the podcast several times. You should have known I fucked with it, but that's whatever.
I only registered the Dr. Pepper and then that other drink. I don't
Jarritos.
remember the name of.
Jarritos.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Fake Texan doesn't know Jarritos. It's tragic.
Fucking, I'm not fake Texan. I'm just fucking white Texan.
So am I. I still know Jarritos. But give me.
Fucking Latino lover. That's what it is.
All right, give me.
The irony of me calling you that.
Yeah, that must be. Yeah, it's give me a Gen 6 Pokemon. Gen 6 Pokemon.
All right, let me look up Gen 6 real quick. We'll get plenty of Pokemon talk later.
We do have another. Yeah, we do have a top 3.
Okay.
Hey, Bowie. There's not that many of them, so this should actually narrow it down pretty good for me.
I saw someone that I already felt kind of decent on
Okay.
for that number. How do you... Oh, I think you've actually asked me this, Jen, before for this question.
Maybe.
Because I just scrolled past... Yeah, I definitely said that for this question before.
Okay.
Let's go... See, the thing is, I don't think I've played this game, so I actually I can't tell you like how good it is. No.
Okay.
We also need to get back to doing the Nuzlocke.
We do. Definitely.
I've decided I'm not going to catch Zapdos because I'm just scared of fighting him without a Master Ball.
You don't have the Master Ball?
No, I used it on Articuno, remember?
Oh,
when I texted you?
I forgot you even got Articuno. Like, where the fuck did you get
Yeah.
Articuno? Okay, well, I'm gonna fight Zapdos. I'm gonna fight Articuno with the... well, maybe not. I might not go for it. I don't know. But
It's just risky. It's too risky, I think.
I think I might just thug it out with the Zapdos. But
And I'll thug it out with Articuno.
all right. Did you settle on one?
Yes. Let me go with Diggersby.
That's what I was thinking the whole time, actually. And
That's weird.
Because like because that's the one I would be thinking we might not be on the same page on. Like you said, you've never played the game. Diggersby fucks. Diggersby fucks. Diggersby's awesome. Diggersby's like he has huge power, I think. So like them stab earthquakes with huge power. Diggersby fucks. Now, granted, design wise, he looks like he just pissed himself. I can see why that might not be your cup of tea. I'm thinking maybe anywhere between a 3 to 6 right now, but I'm feeling on the lower end of things. If you're just looking like you haven't played the games, you don't know how good Diggersby is. If you're just looking at design, I'm thinking 3 is maybe where you're sitting at. So that's where I'm at right now. But I shit you not, I was thinking Diggersby the whole time because I'm thinking like we might vary differently in this one because he might think it's ugly, but I love Diggersby. It's like a 7 or 8 for me. So.
It's so interesting.
I have very fond memories of playing through the game with Diggersby. Diggersby is awesome. So,
Okay.
But yeah, I'm assuming I understand why you'd have him on the lower end. He looks like he just pissed himself, or at best he just spilled beer all over himself. He looks like an alcoholic too. He looks like he beats his wife. With them big ass floppy ass fist ears, he definitely beats his wife. But okay, give me a brand of water. This was what I had during the hurricane. Give me a brand of water.
Oh, what is it called? One does come to mind pretty quickly.
Aquafina, Dasani. One of those two.
No. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, give me Ozarka.
I don't think I really drank Ozarka that much. The bottle, I don't like the bottle it comes in though. I'm gonna say it's probably like a 3. I don't. And in fact, with how passionate you are about this might be a little lower. This might be like a 2. Because if Dasani is 1, maybe Aquafina is 2, Ozarka's 3. I'm sticking with 3 for now, for the time being. It's subject to change. I don't think Ozarka is like up there though. Like, for instance, Evian fucks. This shit's delicious. I love Evian. It's expensive as hell, but there was no other water available, so I just kind of had to make do. because everybody had bought all the other cheap water. But let's see. Give me an NBA team. I don't even really know rosters like that right now, so it's
Let me just Google NBA and just look at logos.
okay. We're doing
Oh,
logos.
teams are playing right now.
That's preseason.
That's true.
John Morant tweaked himself in the preseason, which is fucking insane. Just don't play that man. Put him on bubble wrap until the season starts. Don't let it happen.
Let's see.
Hey, sweet boy. I love you, man.
Give me the Utah Jazz.
That's a good team, but they're Mormons, so 3.
I don't think the players are.
Doesn't matter. It's the Jazz. So the fans are Mormon.
You think Lowry Markkinen's a Mormon?
Probably. They should have
Finish.
drafted. They should have drafted Kyle Filipowski, or did they? Or did they?
I'll look him up.
That did? Because I know people were making memes about it. Allegedly he got groomed by the girlfriend he has that's much older than him. And Utah.
This man does play for the Utah Jazz.
And she's Mormon, so the Jazz are like, yeah, you're literally everything we're looking for in a player.
Yep,
so
he does play for the Utah
exemplifies
Jazz.
Mormon values perfectly. So yeah, for the Jazz. Yeah, I'm sticking with 3. I don't think. Maybe you liked Diggersby's design. Maybe you like Ozarka. I don't know. But the fact that you had the answer pulled up so quick, I feel like you probably, for the Ozarka at least.
Have you heard of the Mormon show? My Husband's Not Gay.
No, but that sounds incredible.
About Mormon couples, married couples, where the husband is suffering from SSA, same-sex attraction.
Suffering.
So they send them on camping trips together.
Oh my god.
Just Mormon Brokeback Mountain going on.
Good lord. Oh, that sounds incredible. I might have to check that out. But
I think it's an old show. Well, not like old,
probably,
but
like a little older, yeah.
Yeah.
90s, 2000s type shit. Sounds like a show that would exist in the 2000s landscape. But
I think it was one season too.
I got 2 more questions left. Give me
2015.
Give me a seasoning. Give me a seasoning. I'll say seasoning or condiment. Any kind of flavor additive for your food. Seasoning or condiment.
The problem is, if the ones the ones I think of is like I go to these. They're all on the same side of the spectrum. Or they're only on the extremes.
Oh, so maybe we are closer to 5 than I'm thinking.
No, because I'm just saying it's muddled up.
I don't know.
Like multiple 1s, multiple 2s, multiple 10s.
Well, just find one and pick it. I mean, it doesn't matter. Whatever you think is in your wheelhouse, just go for it, man. Yeah, there are definitely multiple 10 out of 10 seasonings as well as condiments, like for sure. I can name probably 5 different 10 out of 10 condiments, if I'm being honest with you. At least, just off the top of my head.
I'm trying to open the cabinet in my mind. Okay. I think I'll have to explain this one
later.
After.
Yeah.
But give me lemon pepper. I'll have to explain why.
I like lemon pepper. I like lemon pepper a lot. This hurts me. I don't feel any differently about 3. I think I'm still kind of hovering on that because I don't think. Yeah, I don't think I feel any. I think 3. I think I'm still. I haven't seen anything that changes my mind about 3. Let's go.
Is this the final question?
Yes.
Okay.
Go with. Give me a film. Any film.
Um,
Give me a film.
give me Beverly Hills Chihuahua.
That is an interesting poll to have just on the ready, but
It's like my mind immediately went to it as soon as you said film.
I haven't seen those movies in years. I don't know if they've aged at
Me
all.
neither.
I would imagine they probably haven't aged super well, at least to some degree. Um, Beverly Hills. I don't remember the plot of the first one that much. I know Beverly Hills Chihuahua 2 had the Quince, I think. Um, lock it in 3. I don't really know. Give me 3. 4. Okay.
It was 4.
I'm glad you weren't that low on Diggersby. Honestly, I feel pretty good about.
He looked like a fun bad.
No, he's genuinely good. Like,
And that's okay. Well, good thing I gave you the. I haven't played this, so I don't actually know how they
even
play
if you
in
hadn't
game.
told me that, I kind of would have assumed that you were just lower on Diggersby if you would have said that because he doesn't seem like he'd be in your wheelhouse.
You know, it's funny when I put him as 4. I thought I was being high on him.
No, people like Diggersby. He's cool.
I didn't realize bro was like that.
He's got huge power. He's like that. He's got like base 55 attack, I think. So huge power. It's kind of like huge power Azumarill. It's basically Gen 6's Azumarill. It's kind of the same deal. He's like that. Definitely like that. So.
Okay. Now I close my eyes.
And I think of a number.
When I make my move, you're free to check
I
the
got
king.
my number. My number is ready.
You show it?
Mm-hmm. Also, lemon pepper.
Okay.
By the way, elaborate real quick.
Oh, I think I could. I feel like I'd only like it on chicken.
It's good on turkey. It's good on turkey.
Okay. Well, I don't like turkey.
Lame ass.
Sorry. And then I would go for it on wings, and then something about Wingstop's lemon pepper, I don't like.
It's not my well. If you're going to Wingstop, you want like a rub and not like a sauce. Go get the fucking Louisiana.
But like
rub.
I like lemon pepper, but I put it there just because first of all I couldn't fucking think of anything else.
Yeah.
And then also I was like, I think this just works for chicken.
Fair enough. It's definitely
But-
based on chicken. It's poultry
like-
in general. It's good on poultry. Like I wouldn't put it on pork or steak.
Outside of Wingstop, I like them on wings a lot.
Yeah.
Outside of Wingstop,
Fair enough. I actually had Wingstop today.
you're making me hungry.
I'd share if you were here. I still have some in the fridge. But
Stop fucking teasing me. Okay, but anyways,
yeah, I got one.
give me.
Hi, kitty. Hi, kitty. I love you.
Give me a grass Pokemon.
Ludicolo.
Okay. I don't know where you land on here. We could be anywhere from 3 to 7.
Yep.
I can't imagine him on either extreme. So just all of the middle. 3 to 7.
Yeah, I'm firm Ludicolo there. I think is a good fit for where I'm at.
Okay. Ludicolo. Give me a. Give me a gas station. Not something in it. The gas station, like in its entirety. Factor in everything.
Right. That's where my brain.
Where it stands in comparison to others in prices, usually.
Right.
The interior, the bathrooms.
My brain immediately goes to food for the most part.
Course.
This one is probably
Fair.
number one.
Because that's the only thing that you really use to separate gas stations.
Right.
Because you're like, the price,
That's-
I'm just going wherever's cheapest.
That's how they make their money, anyways. Is with
Yeah.
No. I'm gonna say 7-Eleven. I think for my spot.
Okay.
I'm gonna say
All right.
7-Eleven.
So I think we're top half then. So I think we're 5 to 7.
I'm gonna say 7-Eleven. Firm 7-Eleven. Next to my Ludicolo.
Maybe you're really high on Ludicolo. Maybe I could bump it up to 5 to 8.
Thank you.
I think 7-Eleven is. I think it's a good. I mean, I think it's pretty good. It's not. I don't think it's I mean, Bucky's would be like 10.
That's what my brain was thinking immediately.
Yeah.
I was
So
starting to think of like what
working your
each
way
number,
down.
like from 10 to 1, what would my gas stations be? And I'm
Yeah.
working my way down, and I'm thinking like I like where I put 7-Eleven just now in accordance with my other gas stations.
Now you could be being a funny man and it's 7. You could
Wouldn't
be
that
being
be
a really
something?
funny man and it's
Wouldn't
7.
that be something? I just had to play the trick on you.
I'm 5 to 8. I'm 5 to 8. Give me. It's on the brain. Give me a transformer.
Ooh. Give me. Give me Ratchet.
Okay.
Ratchet. Give me Ratchet.
All right. I feel like I'm ready to leave the 5 behind, so I'm like 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
Ratchet would fit pretty nicely at 7. 7-Eleven would fit nicely at 7. But I'm 6, 7, 8.
It's that Wingstop burp.
How many questions is that?
That's 3.
3?
Ludicolo, 7-Eleven.
Ludicolo, 7-Eleven.
Ratchet.
Ratchet. Give me a board game. Board or card game. Let's throw card games in there if it makes it easier. Board or card game.
Give me Yahtzee. I think I'll take Yahtzee.
Yahtzee. Okay. For some reason you feel like a Yahtzee boy to me. So now I'm like 7, 8. I don't know. I don't know if Monopoly's really a 10, but it just has like a classicness to it. I feel like Monopoly would be higher, or you hate Monopoly. I don't. You're like this glorifies capitalism. I'm not fucking playing Monopoly.
No, well, technically, we've had this exact conversation on the pod before.
I get it. It's supposed to be like a critique of capitalism,
but then of course the game itself got stolen by a company, so it is literally a parody of itself if you think about it. But I don't know. Monopoly lore is way better than Monopoly gameplay in my opinion, but that's just me.
I love Monopoly.
It's like Bethesda made Monopoly. You know what I mean?
Okay. I love Monopoly.
Fair enough. To each their own.
I love capitalism. Fucking Yahtzee. Okay, so I'm thinking 7, 8. Okay.
He's like a perfect sphere right now. By the way, the cat is like a perfect little donut.
7-Eleven Ratchet.
He's a little pumpkin spice donut right now. Orange little donut. He's beautiful. I love him.
Give me an NFL uniform.
Ooh.
Full fit.
Ooh. Okay, so factoring in all 3, like factoring in all 4 potentially, like home, away, alternate, throwback, whatever. Like
yes, like specific
the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Like specific one, like Eagles throwback, Seattle throwback, Cowboys color rush, whatever. Okay. Bengals all white.
Yeah, give me. Okay, well, like give a specific jersey, like a specific.
Yeah, like specific.
Okay. Let me just look up NFL uniforms, and I'll see if I can't get you. Let's go images here. I've got a few contenders here. Okay, give me the Patriots throwbacks.
Those are some good ones.
Patriots throwbacks is where my brain's at.
Those are some good ones. Let me really. I fuck with the logo on the helmet, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 8. I think 8 is going to be my final answer. Give me 8. Final answer. 8 final answer locked in. Wow.
So, like I said, I started formulating the gas stations. Also, Ludicolo was immediately came to mind for me for Grant. I think that's like a perfect like he's a fun little guy. I don't really use him in my playthroughs, but he's a very fun like he looks like I'd have a good time with him. I'd drink some
It felt
margaritas with
like
Ludicolo.
Jacob. You were like, "What if I was a grass type Pokemon? Would I be a fun little guy?"
I would be a fun little. I've drink margaritas with Ludicolo. I'd have a great time with Ludicolo. I wouldn't use him on a team though. He's not like a favorite of mine for that reason, but I like him. 7-Eleven for me. I was thinking like, okay, Bucky's is 10,
Right.
Wawa is 9, Sheets
Okay.
is 8,
Never
Circle
heard of
K
that
is
one.
7, and
Okay.
then 7-Eleven would be 6 for me. Circle
Okay.
K, the food is comparable to 7-Eleven. The gas is always cheaper than 7-Eleven. Maybe that's just me locally. My Circle K's are always cheaper and everything. Wawa too. Wawa is usually cheaper as well, and their food's amazing. That's why they're 9. But yeah, Bucky's hands down. That's a 10. It's fucking Bucky's.
That
And
pulled
then
pork sandwich.
Sheets is more like a DMV thing, and they have always had clean bathrooms and they have really good food too. So, in fact, sometimes we would like take a dump there on road trips. My dad would be like, "We're taking a sheet at Sheets," but yeah, I would say Sheets would be 8 for me there. So that 7-Eleven is 6 out of 10. Felt right. Ratchet, like there's I don't know, like Optimus is a 10, Bumblebee's a 9, Megatron's a
But
9, Starscream's probably an 8, like Soundwave's an 8, Shockwave's a 7, probably. So I'm thinking like Ironhide was the other one I was thinking of maybe putting at 6.
oh man,
Like
I think the problem for me is that to me it's like Optimus and Bumblebee and Megatron are 10,
yeah,
Starscream, Soundwave, Shockwave,
they all bang. Like it's tough.
nines.
It's tough to think about.
Also, you seem like a Ratchet kind of guy,
I was when
the
I
support guy.
I like Ratchet. I fucks with Ratchet, but
I just feel like him getting slaughtered the way he did in the Bayverse
that
movie
shit
probably
pissed me
got
off.
to you.
Well, granted, seeing the way Ironhide got killed too was the same
Ugh.
type of bullshit because it was Sentinel like I hereby discharge you from duty, and then just fucking, you know what I mean? Like that shit was dumb. I hated that. I watched my goat get folded, sucker punch basically. So. And then, but now, granted, Sentinel got it back. Optimus got it back in blood on Sentinel at the end, where
One-armed.
you didn't betray me, you betrayed yourself. No, Optimus. And he gets his fucking face blown up. I love War Crime Timus Prime in that movie. It's an insane movie, but yeah, that's where I was at with that. But is it top 3 time?
Yes, it is. All right, we got to preface this one.
All right. There was some
Ladies and
leaks.
gentlemen, Game Freak has been hacked.
Emphasis on the freak.
And stuff has come out about them. We have learned something about a Pokemon I cared a lot for, specifically.
We've learned about, I think, 3 or so that have been caught.
I know it was Typhlosion, the biggest culprit everyone's been talking about. Octillery was another one.
I didn't know that, but I didn't know that, but I thought about including that one for because I'm like all them tentacles. I know he's up to something.
I think they got exposed as well. I don't know what the other one was then.
Oh no, I think it was Octazooka I was looking at, but yeah. And then Vigoroth and Slacking as well. Pokemon have sometimes had non-consensual sex and have had
They just
give
were
birth to Pokemon or have
toying around with lore about. I think what was the approach was supposed to be more biblical of like
I suppose maybe
ancient times when there was a more blurred line between Pokemon and human.
Yeah, something like that.
Freaky stuff. So,
Freaky
ladies
shit.
and gentlemen,
Game freak. Now, however, positive lore. Cyrus is canonically autistic. That shit,
Yes.
that bang. I mean, it makes sense, but like that's just cool lore to have there. It makes like I'm glad we got some autistic representation. It makes sense. Cyrus. Yes, sir.
With these exposés coming out about some of these Pokemon, ladies and gentlemen, top 3 of the week. Top 3 Pokemon we think are most likely to be exposed next.
What? Yep. We've got the Freakazoids assembled here in these lists. Brayden, if you would do the honors, please kick us off.
So, I was struggling for this third one. I decided to go really into a recent event in terms of a Freakazoid.
The diddler?
Ladies and gentlemen, Brock has been found with 1,000
Oh,
mucks,
not a Pokemon. You found a
industrial size
person.
mucks. No, I'm talking about
Okay.
muck. It's the
Okay.
Pokemon, but I just added that
Okay.
joke in.
Okay.
Muck is just going to be the substitute for baby oil
Mm-hmm.
in some Diddy parties.
That's fair.
Muck is getting slathered around.
That's gotta smell crazy in there.
It's gotta smell, look, feel disgusting. But it is in some Giovanni parties, getting slathered around. Muck is going to be my third one for this expose.
Yeah.
Just lubricating.
Mm-hmm.
People look at Muck and they go, "This would be fun to use," and Muck is like,
Yeah.
"Yes, let me get in there."
Yeah.
As a lubricant.
Nice.
Trust me, my next two are better. I have some bangers with my next two. The third one was a struggle.
I've got some bangers loaded up in here.
Slide around. You, sir.
All right, Freakazoid number 1. This is the creepy math teacher. This is the hairline you'd expect of a pedophilic high school teacher. I've got Polytoad.
Okay.
Look at his fucking face and tell me he's not a weirdo, right? He's bald,
Freak.
but he's got the little thing, the little like alfalfa, curly alfalfa at the front. He's got like the receding math teacher hairline, kind of, with like a little twirl up there. And he's just kind of weird. Like, he gives me those vibes. Like, I wouldn't trust him alone with my drink. You know what I mean? I don't know what he put in there. He just kind of feels. He's definitely more like, he's not like, he won't overpower you, but he's definitely the type to like slip a Bill Cosby you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, freaky motherfucker. I don't trust him. Look at that fucking face. I don't trust him. That's it for Polytoad. I don't got much to say there.
My number 2. I went with Furfro.
Ooh.
I think they grew up in like the pageant community
Okay.
where I think people are getting exploited. They grow up around that environment. They fall into the trap of partaking in this environment, and they continue this terrible cycle of young Pokemon coming into the beauty world, getting used, getting abused. I think Furfro is on high alert right now. All eyes need to be on Furfro for what's going on in these Pokemon beauty pageants. Furfro is my number 2.
All right. I'm going to lump number 2 and number 1 in here together, and there's a reason for that.
There's a theme.
There's a connecting.
And I want to see if I can guess it after you.
Okay. So the 2 Pokemon I've lumped together are Toxicroak and Magmortar. Toxicroak has a pedo stash. Okay, if you that is the face of a man who is definitely finds the girl passed out drunk at the party and wants to take advantage. Magmortar is the guy at the gay bar who wants to take advantage. Now, the thread that I had among these two as well, not just that they looked like they were both the type. I'm thinking of where they live and the Pokemon they're in close proximity to. Mm-hmm. They're both native to the Sinnoh region.
Okay.
They're both evolved forms of like previous Pokemon. I think Krogunk was in Gen 3, but that got into evolution in Gen 4. I think. I might be wrong there. It might be all Gen 4. But they're both native to the Sinnoh region. Mm-hmm. Lopunny is native to the Sinnoh region.
Ah, here it is.
Lopunny is a victim. Not
100%.
And not just Lopunny. Because Gallade was introduced in Gen 4, there's a lot of, Curlias and Raltses and stuff, and I'm sure Gardevoir's out in the wild in Sinnoh too. Another victim. And one that just came to me because you were talking about, how Muck was being used as the Diddy oil substitute, and I started thinking of like what would be a better option. I bet you Gastrodon's a victim. You know that shit's slippery. You know, and there's a ton of that Gastrodon's like the East West Coast beef. You know, in Sinnoh because I know it's native to Gen 3, but you find a lot of them in Sinnoh. So I'm thinking of like when you play through Pokemon Platinum, the Pokemon you see throughout the game. You're gonna see Lopunny, you're gonna see Gardevoir, you're gonna see Gastrodon. Toxicroak can't keep his hands off of them. I just know it. And I don't think Magmortar can either. So, all that being said, I've got a couple of Sinnoh freaks to round out my list here. You're number one, sir.
I think this might upset some people.
Uh-oh.
But there's been a big mystery in Pokemon for 30 years that I think I have the answer for. This Pokemon was seemingly before the game was even released, stripped of a status it seemed destined to have. This Pokemon was supposed to be in one of the top ranks of Pokemon. This Pokemon was obviously supposed to be this since it's referred to it. This Pokemon should have been a legendary Pokemon. But something happened to where it is not a legendary Pokemon.
No.
I think
Arcanine
was stripped of its legendary status because it did something.
Oh my god.
It did something so wicked that it got taken down from the highest of ranks of Pokemon and relegated to a not normal type, but like a normal Pokemon.
Oh my god. That's
It
insane.
did something.
It was probably one of the legendary
covered up.
dogs. The legendary dogs were initially a group of 4 and not a group of 3. But Arcanine, you know, got punished
Freakanine.
for being a little freakazoid.
Arcafreak.
I respect that. I mean, I respect your reasoning. I don't respect the allegations that my Pookie Bear Arcanine is.
I knew it, dude. I was like, this is a fan
puppy
favorite
dog
Pokemon,
is-
dude. I figured it out, though. That's what it is.
His Hisuian form looked like that, and you think he touched those kids?
Okay, that's one of the funnier things about the Typhlosion stuff is they're like, no, this is a Hisuian Typhlosion. My starter Pokemon would never.
You think he touched those kids? Yep.
But yeah, I think I cooked with that last one.
I think so too. I think he cooked with the Furfro as well.
Yeah, I think the reasoning was just perfect. Too real. Too real.
Do you want to go ahead and get into what we've been on?
Okay, so I haven't really been on much. When I visited my sister, we did go to the movies. I was like, you got to see Transformers 1.
Yeah,
you got to you got to see this shit.
Gotta give
So
it money too.
I saw Transformers 1 again. And then, we also played Mario Party Escort drinking game.
Nice.
If anyone is not familiar with what Mario Party Escort is, you and another player, you play Mario Party with 2 computers that you put on the lowest possible setting, and you each pick one to try and get to win. It's a lot of fun. We threw in some drinking games for when you win a mini game, when you lose a mini game, when the escorts get stars, or when you get stars. Just a lot of stuff in there. I lost. Because my sister's chosen player won, and I ended up taking, I think it was like, I think I took 6 shots and then like plus 2 more within like the drinks that we made. So like 8 total shots of Bacardi.
That's a lot of Bacardi.
I felt it. Stayed hydrated, woke up fine the next morning, but in the moment I was feeling it. But yeah, I had some good fun playing Mario Party Escort. And then I'll have some stuff next week to talk about. But also potential new series will be coming on the channel, like a weekly thing. I don't know, possibly more. I think me and a friend, he's gonna come over. We're gonna record some stuff.
Nice.
I think we'll be doing some Game Grumps light or like stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, that's gonna be on the way. So look forward to that. But yeah, that's what I've been on, and I'll have some fun stuff for what I've been on next week.
Nice.
But Jacob, what you been on?
So, I had a thought.
You thinking? You're thinking.
I'm thinking I might finally, maybe, have an idea for a YouTube video. that I
Whoa.
well, because I just recently like the last couple days I've like been on an Elliott Smith kick, and I think subconsciously I remembered that the anniversary of his death was coming up because he I looked it up today. He died on October 21st, and I actually didn't know he killed himself, or at least presumably killed himself. I always thought it was like drug complications because I know he was an addict at one point. No, he stabbed
Jeez.
himself. I
That's a
didn't know that.
crazy way to go.
Crazy way to go, right? A painful way to go. Stab yourself in your own home and just bleed out. Uh,
Yeah.
but no, I mean, he was definitely he had a lot of shit going on in the early
Yeah.
stages of his life. He had a sexually abusive stepdad.
Mm.
He had some, he had a lot of shit going on when he was growing up. So, probably a lot of it just never got over. But yeah, I was been listening to all of his. I had never heard the. It's not an album. It's a compilation of like demos and like alternate versions of songs and stuff. It's called New Moon. He only has like two posthumous releases, like two real ones, anyways, and one of them being a full fledged album. It's uh, under the something basement on a hill or whatever. I actually have that tin post right now that's facing down because it won't stick to the wall. That's that album. And I listened to that one again today. That one's getting a remaster on November 1st. So, and by November 1st, it's going to be a big day for music. The Cure is releasing a new album. Mount
What?
Fury is releasing a new album. And West Side Gun's releasing a new album. And we're getting the Elliott Smith remaster. I am going to be insufferable on the ensuing podcast after all that music comes out. What is that? November 4th or whatever day that? Hang on. Yeah,
Something like that.
2nd is Saturday, 3rd is Sunday, 4th is Monday. So yeah, 5th. November
Yeah.
5th, I'm gonna be
5th.
insufferable. So just be ready. November 5th, I'm gonna be.
It will be
It's 21 days from now.
yours, mine, yours. God damn, it'll be mine. Okay.
You gotta edit that out. Yeah, I'm not gonna be fun to be around. I'm gonna be very obnoxious. But, yeah, so I've been listening to all that, and then this was a pretty good New Music Friday that just had us this last.
I'm sorry. One of my favorite rappers finally made a multi-year. Like he finally released a song after years of nothing.
Who?
Max the Demon is back, baby.
Oh, nice.
Just released one little song, but that's all I had to say. It was good.
Nice.
That's all I had.
We got a new Absol song, which I haven't listened to yet, but that's good stuff. And we got some. Unfortunately, Rod Wave is still making music. I regret to inform you. New Rod Wave album. I did not listen to it. I'm not going to. New Big X The Plug album. I haven't listened to it yet. I might at some point, but I've liked some of what he's done. So maybe I'll put on that.
I love his Texas song.
I'm from Texas. Yeah,
that's been a rotation for me ever since. That's never
It's
leaving
a banger.
rotation.
I like that one. That's the one I've heard. So that's what's led me to be like, okay, maybe I'll listen to the album. But
Ballin' like Luca.
But
feel like Luca.
new albums that came out so the new Chat Pile album. I hadn't heard Chat Pile's debut album, so I listened to it the day before this album was set to come out so that I would have some familiarity. The debut was awesome. Debut was incredible. And then I heard this new Chat Pile album, and it's also fantastic. So, feeling good about that. But also, the Brat Remixes album came out. So we've got, this shit's got Blade on it, it's got Young Lean on it, it's got Caroline Polachek on it, it's got Julian Casablancas on it. It's got Ariana Grande on it. Of course, it's got Lorde and Billie Eilish on it. It's got Addison Rae on it, for whatever reason.
What?
She's there too. She makes music, and she actually, what do you call it?
Every TikToker fucking makes music.
Okay, but Addison Rae actually knows ball. Like, there's like somebody who's friends with her on Spotify who like stalks her listening activity, and they made a playlist of songs that Addison Rae likes. The very first song on the playlist is an Elliott Smith song, actually, funny enough. Circling back to where I started here. Addison Rae knows ball. Like, there's a lot of great songs on that playlist. So, and her music isn't bad either. So, I don't mind seeing Addison Rae get more features like on a Charlie XCX album. That's fine with me. But wasn't particularly my favorite song on the remix album. But still, I mean, they were like remixes. A lot of them sounded very different from the original track. So it was a new listening experience. It was the only one I felt really let down by was I really liked Spring Breakers. And the Spring Breakers remix had Kesha on it, and I thought that shit was gonna bang, and it is a little underwhelming, and that was the only one where I was like, okay, whatever. It wasn't bad. None of them were bad, but I like a couple of them were. I do. I think I prefer the original album as an album, just as a listening experience. But still, the remixes do bring a lot to the table. So I had a good time with it. But I think that's about it for me as far as what I've been on.
Do you
Oh,
want to play a quick little game here? A trade just happened in the NFL.
what just happened just now?
I can
Another
let's
one?
play a quick game. I can give you the player or the team, and I want to guess you to guess what the other piece of it is.
Don't give me the player. Give me the team.
The Vikings traded for somebody.
Fuck. Who would? I'm gonna say defensive player. Tell me, am I wrong?
Wrong.
Is it a wide receiver?
It is not.
Is it a? Is it a tight end?
No, sir.
It's a running back.
Yes.
Travis Etienne.
No.
Okay. Is it like a big trade? Is it like a known player?
I mean, it's a known player.
Okay.
But-
Zamir White. Fuck.
No.
I don't know.
If you're asking if it's a star, no.
Okay. Not well. Zamir White's not a star.
I know, but like your question before.
Keaton Mitchell. It's not. Spears.
It's not a starter either.
Okay. Well, neither is Keaton Mitchell. Mostert. Damn. Okay. AFC or NFC?
They're from the AFC.
Okay. Damian Pierce.
No.
I'm close.
Pretty close.
Is it AFC South?
Yep.
And it's not. It's not. It's not ETN.
No.
It can't be Jonathan Taylor.
No.
Is it? Is it Tyjae Spears?
No.
Is it Pollard? It can't be Pollard. There's no fucking way.
No, dude, when I said you were close, I meant you were close.
Oh, it's not Joe Mixon. Is it? Is it? Is it
who's the third guy?
Ogunbowale? Is that who they traded for?
Okay. Who's the fourth guy?
Fucking Cam Akers.
Yes.
Okay, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, that took me way longer than it should have.
That was
Okay.
funny because I was like, dude, you're super close.
I when you said, I was like, I kind of thought Houston, but I forgot Cam Akers was there. I'm like, well, if they didn't trade for Pierce, they didn't trade for Mixon, but they're not gonna give up a pick for Ogunbowale. What the fuck? Okay, so Cam Akers, I like that. Kevin O'Connell knows him. He's familiar with him. It's on the Rams connection. So
Yeah, I don't see what it is yet.
probably like a 6th or 7th or something, like a 2026 6th rounder or whatever.
I am running over to because it said via Tom Pelissero.
Okay.
Here it is. Hold on. Houston gets a 2026 conditional 6th round
That's exactly
In
what I
ex-
just said. Let's fucking go.
in exchange for Akers and a 2026 conditional 7th round pick.
Okay.
It's a reunion for Akers in Minnesota, which also traded for him last season.
Oh shit! I didn't even know that.
They should get the fuck back over here.
Fair enough. All right. Well, it's cool. It was a fun game.
Yeah. Next time a trade happens during the pod, we gotta do that.
Yeah, I think so. But that's
Whoever
what an
sees it
eventful
first.
day it's been. I mean, NFL trade deadline is still a few weeks away. We're only entering week 7. It's not until week 9. So they still have two
Yeah,
and a
we got
half
some
more.
fun
They
ones.
still have, what? And well, the trade deadline's gonna be like Wednesday or some shit. So there's.
But it feels like the biggest name guys. I mean, the two that I could think of just were traded today.
I could see DeAndre Hopkins getting moved. Tennessee is like 1 and 7.
Hassan Reddick,
Hassan Reddick will probably get moved. I think he
probably.
more than likely he's gonna. Get
I
moved.
would. I wish they would get it done because I think it. The Jets would be even better and that would be fun. But
Yeah. If
We'll
they could
see.
get a player for them, like a player swap, that'd be ideal. Just because you've
Yeah.
already lost assets in the picks trading for him. If you could get a player for Hassan Reddick, that'd be perfect. Because your pass rush is good. You don't necessarily need another guy there. But you could get like I don't know, another offensive lineman. Maybe find a I don't know. Not that good offensive linemen are typically available at the trade deadline, but I don't know. Maybe Detroit's got like a 6th man. that they're willing to-
you never know.
I don't know.
But that's a fun way to end the podcast.
I think so too. Absolutely. But I think that's going to do it for us today, y'all. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. As always, the next episode will be over on Brayden's channel. And yeah, that's going to do it for us today. Take care. Love yourself. Be nice to yourself. Stay hydrated. And have a good rest of your day. Peace.